And welcome back to episode 214 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm. Fuck them birds. Fuck them birds all season, next season, and the season after. King. Fuck them birds, goddamn.
That's what we need. That's what we need. We need more of that. That's what we need. That's what fuels the fire.
What you need is Pat Hachuli to fucking ref every single one of your games.
You are
5-0 when he is refereeing games.
Shit.
There are four unquestionably bad calls. There was the late hit horse collar takedown of Josh Allen, where you ripped his jersey, referee staring right at it, no call. There are two defenseless hits, one on Kincaid, one on Diggs, no call.
I saw the one on Kincaid. I wasn't really mad at it.
A blatant defensive holding that we had gotten called for earlier in the game that Philadelphia gets away with right in front of the referee. I am not one to usually play this game. I mean, Cliff knows I'm in on the bad call game, but if you are telling me that the officials did not dictate the outcome of that game, you are full of shit.
Well, truth be told, Mr. Reggie, and to Cliff, obviously, too, and anybody listening or watching, I didn't get a chance to see the game. I was taking the kiddos back to their moms and shit, I'll be honest. So I didn't see any of the game. However, the one thing I will say is it kind of comes with the territory as far as, like, everybody's had bad calls against them, including us.
But here's the thing. When there is one specific officiating crew that has shown over and over again that they are ignoring calls against Philadelphia or making pro-Philadelphia calls, that's a problem for the entire fucking league.
Well, I know not to cut you off or anything, but we've talked about it previously, not in reference to this specific game, but yeah, there's a lot of correlations between what refs referee what games and the outcome of. That's a lot of the betting sites are giving you specific names of refs at what games that you would want to bet against because of the way shit's going. Now, what I will say about that game specifically is, cause or not, y'all had the opportunity to win it. Tyler Bass missed those two field goals. Those two field goals prevent you from even being in the situation in the first place.
No argument. And Josh Allen's turnover and what he's done. But I will say he played a better game.
No, he did. 339 yards and two rushing touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing. The nigga had over 400 yards by itself.
I'm sure calls played a factor, but, Cliff's heard me say this week in, week out, Mike. Your Buffalo Bills just aren't a consistent team well.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean? So I don't
honestly, had the Bills turned the ball, like, that's why when you heard me talk about bad calls, you didn't hear me talk about the incompletion that was ruled an incompletion, but potentially could have been a catch and a fumble. Like, they were at least consistent on that call because they made one against us and they made one against them. So, like, I can deal with that.
Right.
But when Josh Allen is getting his jersey torn from a horse collar tackle directly in front of an official and that call doesn't get made,
yeah, that's a problem.
That is horseshit, because you and I both know the way they protect quarterbacks in this league, period. Like, that's not even a question.
Right.
But Josh Allen's the exception, though.
But you know what?
That's the thing. He's the exception.
He wasn't running, though.
He's a line, but when you got a line, Josh Allen's a cheat code. When you've got a lineman,
jersey is ripped as a quarterback, somebody should have had him.
No, but I get what Malk is saying. It's like the LeBron not getting fouls. You got to foul him to stop him. You got to do something to Josh to stop him. So
you have to.
If it's
He's still a quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, I don't disagree. but if you think about it, they already make it so soft, like you said, against quarterbacks. So how do you stop a Josh Allen if you can't play a little dirty from time to time? You won't ever stop a Josh Allen.
That's the truth.
But that's the way it should be. That's
no. And I see what you're
understand.
saying.
Yeah, I understand from your point as well. It's like it's still a part of the game. Be fair for all. But it's like put it like this: if this nigga wasn't hurdling motherfuckers, trucking
Right,
motherfuckers,
right,
doing all
right.
this shit, he wouldn't get those calls called, or he would get those calls called on him.
Right, he
remember
would.
Lamar Jackson's little ass was complaining about not getting calls called on him, and what's the common denominator? You leave the line of scrimmage.
Right.
You do a
and
lot of
that's
your
the
business
thing.
beyond the line.
Had that happened beyond the line, you wouldn't hear me talking about it.
Right, right.
And again, I didn't see the play, but like I said, Josh Allen's a big boy. He's literally a grown ass man. You know what I mean? So I don't really have too much sympathy for him because I don't have sympathy for my quarterback when my quarterback gets hit, dude. My quarterback gets smashed all the time because he chooses to. You
Right.
choose
But I
to,
also,
like,
but I also
you
feel
choose
like
to
we
do
had a
that.
He
call
chooses
against us
to.
and Ed Oliver like hitting Hurts in that game. So that's where I'm like, call it the same way then.
I hate.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just gonna say I agree. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Cliff.
it's the protection in general is too much for me. I don't even know that a horse collar should be illegal. If you can grab a man by his fucking dreads, there's no reason why I
Right.
can't grab you by your shoulder pads.
So
Right.
I will argue this one, and this is coming as a coach who has had a kid had his leg broken as part of a horse collar tackle. Nikhil, who coaches with me now,
Mhm.
former player of mine. We're down in Cincinnati. He gets horse collared at the goal line. He is laying with a broken leg in the end zone. And those redneck officials don't give him the touchdown.
Right.
Damn.
They
What
could.
was he?
They
What
coulda gave
position
him
did he play?
The
He was
replacements
a
call.
slot. He was a
But,
slot.
but see,
so
that's a
he
little
had-
different. But see, that's a little different because I also say this about the quarterbacks, and this is for any quarterback. If you don't want to get horse collar, you don't want to get injured, make sure that line's blocking for you. Make sure that line is standing up. And
And you
it's
know
not
what
even
they-
just it's not even just y'all's line, Mike. Most the offensive lines are not gonna be
Oh, yeah,
too much of a
'cause-
force against our D line. They're just not.
No, I agree. And honestly, the Bills did well again. I mean, that was a good
They
game.
did.
I'm
It
frustrated.
was a great game.
I'm
It was a
frustrated
great
that
game.
It came down to,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, McDermott's decision not to at least take a couple shots with 20 seconds left, like
That's silly.
he needs to go.
That's
Like,
silly.
The
Yeah.
fact that we have lost the game on less time on the clock, and he doesn't fucking go for it. He takes a knee with 20 seconds and one timeout left. Fuck you, Sean. Like I actually called my ex-wife and was like, her dad
Is a
actually,
Bills fan.
like, no, her dad
Oh.
looked like Sean McDermott.
Oh.
Called her and I'm like, you better tell your coward of a father that he needs to go. So
He's always welcome back. Sean McDermott's always welcome back in Philly. I
But that
actually
is-
hope Frank Reich comes back.
but that is where I get frustrated. Like, take away the bad calls. This was a poorly coached game by the Bills. Now, I do think our new offensive coordinator is a good mix, and I think we're doing the right things on offense now. We're moving the ball, but like running cover zero and basically a cover zero blitz for the last play of the game where they go through and score. Like,
yeah, that was crazy. That last. I did see that last play.
Run a
I
zone
did see
blitz,
that.
fine, but you're gonna run cover zero and run a blitz, like shit.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna
But-
ask, but go ahead.
No, but what pissed me off more than anything was us taking a knee with 20 seconds on the clock after
And the
Philly
game
tied
went
it up.
down.
Right. Because overtime has worked out so well for us. Like, they went to overtime, and the first stat they show is that Josh Allen is 0-5 in overtime. And so you made
I've
the
seen
decision to
that.
go to
I've
overtime?
seen that.
Right, without
I did see
trying to
that.
take
What
a
are you
shot.
doing?
I did see that stat.
Maybe he was concerned about the interceptions, and he was like, "Shit, there's a chance that they could catch."
Honestly,
I
I would rather lose it in regulation than lose it in overtime.
I agree with you there. But to get my thought out, first and foremost, before I get my thought out, I was going to ask, but I already know your answer because I know you too well. I was about to say, so you would take Frank Reich over Nick Sirianni, but I know your response would be not as head coach.
Right, of
He
course,
can
no.
come back, but
As a coordinator,
exactly.
as a QB coach or a coordinator, yeah, no, for sure.
But
That's what I
initially, that was
mean.
my thought. Like, no, not over Sirianni. And then I thought how you would respond, and Right.
Well,
But-
I mean,
because
why would you give up Sirianni, who is clearly like best friends with Pat Hachuli? Like, why?
And he been
the
holding
ref.
his shit since he been there.
Here goes Mike. Here goes
he
Mike.
been holding his shit since he been there. But it's a
He
lot
has.
of motherfuckers like that, though. I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching the Hard Knocks and Aaron Rodgers called
Right.
over the head
Right.
official,
A lot of
talking to him,
motherfuckers are like that.
as soon as I saw that, I said, "Okay, I know
He
how
said-
this. I know how this works now."
He said, "Who we got this year? Who's out here this year?
And
Who-
I can
who's
only
this guy?"
imagine, because like you said, Mike, it's been the same officiating crew over the Eagles games, but I'm pretty sure they got to pay for tickets. They got to do all that, residents. So these motherfuckers have schedules just like the players do.
And
They
mind
know
you,
where
Mike.
they're going to be and what they're going to do. So I'm sure the coaches also have a list of the refs that are going to be
No
reffing
doubt.
their game.
Well, I mean, you see it in Ohio high school football all the time.
Right.
Crews that handle games, like especially Southern Ohio or Southeastern Ohio or Northeastern Ohio, like
Mhm.
Shout out Braun.
Yeah, it really
or
don't matter what way you go.
Ironton. Like those officials and those coaches are tight. Like they all go get beers after the game.
Yeah, you could spin around in a circle on a baseball bat and throw a ball in any direction, and you're gonna run into a rough spot.
Right. Right.
If you not, you know.
And
But,
having taken teams from inside of the outer belt, outside of the outer
Yeah,
belt,
that's tough.
let me
Yeah.
tell you, you get off that bus and you're down 10 or 14 already.
You better hope you in Cleveland Heights, motherfucker.
Right.
Otherwise, this game ain't gonna go the way you wanted to. But what I was gonna get at originally, and of course I'm sorry about your boy Nikhil. Well, I'm sure he's doing well now, but at the same time,
Yeah, he's coaching now. He's good.
At the
Oh,
same
okay.
time, I feel like it's a part of the game. Like,
Right.
don't get me wrong, if you're in college or below, so do it like the boxing does it. Amateur has a different set of rules than professional does. These
Well, and what
amateurs
kills
haven't
me is
been
that
paid yet.
this is the football is the only sport where I feel like it happens backwards. Like I
where
feel
the
like
rules are
they
tougher
protect
in
they
the pros
protect
than-
more
right.
and more and
I
more
agree. I
from
agree.
high school to college, then college to the pros.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 1000%. But I think it should be reversed, because when you paying these
I don't
motherfuckers
disagree
that
with
much
that.
money, and your job is to entertain, essentially,
Yeah.
you don't get your bread without motherfuckers watching the game. So when you start watering it down with all these excessive penalties caused, I don't give a fuck about a defenseless receiver. You know how you stop your receiver from being defenseless?
You don't throw him the ball.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. You should be able to get laid out if you're a receiver and that DB has you lined up.
And your quarterback hangs you out to dry.
Right.
Completely
Right.
agree.
That was the quarterback's fault. That may have been the
Right.
coach's fault for the play call. It could have been a whole number of things. But the fact that you would then put it on the defense because they made that dumb decision is wild to me.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And honestly, the horse collar call, while I bitched about it, doesn't bother me as much as the bullshit intentional grounding that they called on Josh Allen, where Gabe Davis was literally within 2 feet of where the ball landed.
I don't know if I
I
saw that.
Like I
Because
said, I
Gabe
didn't see it.
Davis, because Gabe Davis had gone in motion, had come into block, and then Josh is scrambling. He gets rid of the ball. It hits the ground, so no, it does not go beyond the line of scrimmage. But Gabe Davis is right there. It
Oh,
could
I
have
do
just
know
as
what you're
easily
talking-
been a screen pass. And they throw intentional
I'd have to
routes
see
on
the
that, but
play.
they don't call the horse collar. Like,
But isn't that the
For the
thing
game,
though?
like-
Isn't it? It wasn't it only called as an intentional ground because it didn't pass the line of scrimmage?
correct, unless there's a receiver in the area, is the rule.
I thought regardless if it doesn't go past the line of scrimmage that it's
No,
because-
because quarterbacks do that all the time, where they throw it at the feet of the screen man
because
when
Patty
they're still in
Mahomes
the pocket.
just got called for that the other week. I'm pretty sure. I think he got called for that when we played them.
I think
other week.
I think it depend. I think it would have to depend on positioning, right? Because even if you throw it at the feet of the receiver, depending on the throw, that's a fumble.
Not
Right.
if it's forward.
Right.
It has,
if
to, it has
it's
to go backwards.
right.
for it to be
But
fumble.
if it's a screen and you're throwing it at his feet, see,
No, you got to think of a screen where he's dropping back 10 yards. and throwing it over the defensive lineman to the receiver who's on this side of the line of scrimmage. Because that's how we teach it. That's how you teach a screen. Like if a defensive lineman reads the screen, throw it at the receiver's feet or the back's feet.
Because they run bubbles all day where the wide receiver drops back behind the quarterback to get the screen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those situations, I feel like, why would you call an intentional grounding? Because it could also be an opportunity for a recovery for the defense.
Right. But I'm thinking more like middle screens, where you let the D-line through, you pop it over their head to the running back or a receiver crossing back across the middle.
My thought is just
Now, that being said, Gabe Davis was blocking.
Right.
So like,
you're ahead of you're in a position where there's no reason the ball should be behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of them rules. I'm sure they have a B, and a C, under the rule itself, saying only in this scenario, you know what I'm saying, on the 25-yard line, can you call it? Like, I'm sure there's that, but I do remember what you're talking about, though. I had something else on this. I will say your boy AJ Brown ain't been getting no cook for real.
He don't need to.
I mean, he got a touchdown, but he totaled for 37 yards last game. And it's not that, it's the fact that he's that big of a threat. You know what I'm saying? But see, my thing is, remember I said, you might not have been on when I said it. I think, I don't even know if I would say think. Devontae Smith has been the bigger catch receiver. Not necessarily the bigger yardage gain, but he makes the catches that, have to be made. If he doesn't make that catch, that doesn't change the game.
I mean, it's no different than almost any team you see that has more than one wide receiver, right? Once you key in on Justin Jefferson, what do the Vikings and them do when he's healthy? They have whoever else, next man in line that they're looking at, right? So it's just that, and the same with Tyreek, right? When they zone in on Tyreek, who are they looking at? Waddle. It's no different. The only difference is, to your point, is, because Devontae is a number, I think it'd be the same if Devontae was our number one guy, meaning they would key in on him and leave AJ open.
And that's what I'm getting at. I would almost feel more comfortable keying on Devontae.
Yeah, I mean, he's I don't want to say he's faster. He could be, but he's more shiftier.
Yeah, he's a lot quicker. Like, the route running is so much different between Devontae and AJ. If AJ's not beating you deep or bullying you, he doesn't get shit.
Exactly.
So I feel like, why are you keying on that man when this man is the one that's slicing you up week in and week out? You've seen for the past 4 weeks him slice up every defense he's faced. And for some reason, you're going to say, let's make Devontae beat us. He's going to.
Right.
He's going to beat you. It's not about we're going to make him do. No, he's going to do that. So why not key in on the guy that's going to cut you up as opposed to the big chunk yardage receiver? Because big chunk yardage only comes at most 3-4 times a game.
Well, because it's like a LeBron situation, right? The way that DBs are built, as we know, are usually shorter in stature and smaller than the guys like AJ Brown, right? So what they're thinking is, like you said, you can't beat me situation. Like, if I get the ball to him, you know what I mean? Who's going to outbody him? Who's going to outmuscle him? Not many defensive backs.
I agree with that, but at the same time, very rarely are you alone.
Well, that's the thing, Cliff. AJ, that's the difference between AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill, and that's why there's the debate between the two, who's the best wide receiver in the league right now, because Tyreek has to win by beating you off his speed. You throw that ball up to Tyreek on double coverage, it's not happening.
He ain't coming down with it.
You throw that ball up to AJ Brown, it's a big possibility that he's going to come down with it. It's not a guarantee, but it's a greater possibility just off of sheer size and strength. You know what I mean?
My thing about it is this, though. That double coverage play that he goes up and gets that grab was a long shot to begin with.
Well, but why? But how so?
Because it was a 40-yard pass into the end zone.
I mean, again, it's no different than what they did with Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, Larry. When you got those big body frame wide, Anquan Bolden, those big body frame wide receivers, all you're looking to do is throw that up. As long as it's within reach, they're probably going to come down.
Now, AJ's a dog, but I wouldn't give him Randy Moss.
That's fine. You're looking too deep into it. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm just saying that catch and double coverage is positional. It's positional. It doesn't happen. You can throw it 4 times a game and it may not happen at all. It may happen once.
Randy's was off of position and his ability to jump. AJ's is not even off of necessarily athleticism. His is just off of sheer strength.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So while it's not being done in the same fashion as Randy Moss, Jalen and them know that not even if I do throw it to him.
It's not even being done at the same consistency, at the same frequency. Because if it was, then he would have more than 5 receptions for 37 yards. I know that anytime he's going to go up and get that.
But you have to also understand that another thing for us is because we have one of the best run attack games in the league, we don't need to always throw the ball. We don't need to beat teams off of throwing the ball.
I agree with that.
So the difference at the end of the day between some of the guys I named is those guys didn't have a run game to bail them out. None of those guys did. None of those other wide receivers did. I agree with that
1,000, but the DBs aren't thinking about the run game. When they're in their rooms, their meetings, they're not worried about the run game.
What up, CT?
They're only worried about what's going on with the receivers. Who's got who? My zone. Where do I need to be? What do I need to protect against?
What's the topic?
Talking about the Bills and Eagles game because Mike's got to hop off in a little bit here.
The Bills got cheated.
Thank you.
I mean, we could
them late flags. No.
Thank you.
Yeah, they got cheated.
I mean, we can
help Jalen Hurts run it in easily.
Right.
Go ahead, just run it in now. Go ahead, just win the game.
Listen, and they getting hella confident. They running that tush push from the 10-yard line now. Them motherfuckers ran the tush push from the 10-yard. Now it was like the 7 to 8.
Power extra 7,
but
8
it was
yards.
Like, God damn, you gonna do that? They lined up. I thought they was gonna spike the ball. They said, nope. We pushing this motherfucker straight to the end zone.
Now, all that being said, the Bills in particular, they can still win the division.
No, definitely.
Like they finished the season.
Not the Aaron Rodgers is coming back. They can't. No.
I mean, they're not playing. They don't have to play the Jets anyways. So, like, they have the Patriots and the Dolphins left. They beat the Dolphins earlier in the season. If they beat the Dolphins if they beat both the Patriots and the Dolphins, the Bills will have 2 losses in the division, and the Dolphins will have 2 losses in the division. And guess what? Both of the losses will have been to the Bills. So the Bills get the tiebreaker.
The only thing that I'll argue, Mike, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know. I know one of the players wasn't playing in that game that you're talking about against you guys when the Bills.
Well, and there's still 6 weeks left, so who knows what it's going to look like. But that's the last game of the season, January 7th.
But with Devin is it A-Chain? Is that the correct A-Chan? With him being back, with Jalen Ramsey being back, that's a different Dolphins team that you're going to see.
No, I don't think he's back. I think he's hurt again.
Is he hurt again? I thought.
Yeah, he's hurt again.
I didn't hear nothing about him being hurt.
But it's also still 5 weeks away, so there can be more injuries.
No, yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. Yeah. The only thing that, like I said, is just what's going to be tricky is your guys' consistency.
Yeah, no doubt. The Bills will not make it in the wild card. If they don't win the division, they're not making it in. Now, the AFC North about to be real upset if the Bills make it in as the divisional champs, and then the Dolphins bump the Browns, the Steelers, somebody else out of the wild card race.
Oh, that's not going to be hard.
You're right.
Because I assume the Browns go Browns.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns, just keep it a buck.
The Colts.
They're not in a position where they can do anything. And your boy got hurt. Dorian Thompson-Robinson just got hurt. DTR just got hurt. So now you got PJ Walker, who also got banged up in that last game. They was talking about Joe Flacco on the practice squad.
Right. I heard that. I heard Flacco is Flacco going to come back and lead somebody to the Super Bowl.
Listen,
that would be fucking crazy.
You don't have any other options at this point. Both of your quarterbacks are hurt. You can't keep playing them.
Right.
You can't keep playing them.
Man, one of them quarterbacks got to take that spot. I know they hungry for it.
Those are the only two
It got to
left.
be PJ.
DTR and PJ Walker are the only two left, and they was going back and forth, coming in and out. It was almost like motherfuckers was
sure
waving,
PJ
like,
got him a
yep,
victory already this
I'm
year.
hurt again. DTR, come on in here. They was
Hey, the Steelers,
back and forth.
Steelers ain't playing no jokes though.
No.
That's why. Their defense is. That's why they say defense wins championships.
White got to be defensive player of the year.
Well, yeah, he's a dog.
He got to be.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I
To...
think
Yeah,
he
he's
had 2.5
a dog.
sacks that game, 6 tackles.
That's nuts.
Yeah, like, with the team he got to, it ain't like he got stacked players around him.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Offense ain't really helping him out a lot. It's crazy. If they make the playoffs, he should get that. If they make the playoffs.
Now, by the way, Mike, I just seen a quote on NFL.com from this would have been 2 days, so Monday. Sean McDermott said on the overtime loss to Philly, he said we didn't do enough.
No, I agree, and he knows he should have gone for it. Like, he didn't do enough. Fuck him.
Right.
Like, that was a coward call, man.
That
Like,
Tyler Bash situation hurt.
You
though.
lost.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
shit.
see any of it. That game. I mean, I tracked
He
it.
missed
It
2
looked like
field
it was
goals
crazy.
back to back, wasn't it?
Did he
Was
miss?
it?
Did he miss one or did one get blocked? I thought one got blocked.
I
Somebody
thought
got
he missed
pinned
both
on
of
the
them.
one.
You might be
No,
right.
he
You might be right.
He missed one later, but the first one, yeah, he just missed. The one after that, though, I think got blocked. Somebody got a hand on
You
it.
might be right because it was very wide.
Now my question is, because I didn't see the game, what did Stephon Diggs do that game? What was his efficiency like?
6 receptions, 47 yards, 1 touchdown.
I think Gabe had a
Off 11
touchdown.
targets.
Gabe had a bigger
Gabe had
game.
1. Stephon had
The
1.
tight end been killing it.
Gabe had 6
Kincaid.
receptions.
Dalton, I like
105.
Dalton Kincaid. Did he?
Kincaid,
That's what I'm
what
saying about the secondary, man. Like,
Kincaid was
yeah, I
cutting
think the
shit
Bills
up.
should have won that game. I'm not gonna lie. Even as an Eagles fan, I think they should have won that game. Just the way it was, just even tracking the
These
score. The way
last
it was
3
looking.
weeks for the Eagles, you think they should have won these games?
Well, you know what's interesting, and the reason why clearly they didn't win is because, you know, we always talk about how it's common to see Jalen Hurts with 1, maybe 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing. He got 3.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
That changes shit.
it does. No, and I mean he
I mean,
You don't
Swift
think?
could have got
Wait,
one.
well,
Swift
wait.
would have got one. I mean,
When he
what's the-
rushing
it
for
ain't-
touchdowns and throwing for 3, that's a Eagles team that's going to be hard to beat.
yeah.
Oh,
They're-
yeah.
They're saying Jalen Hurts might be the most clutch player in the league, and I'm not trying to be biased. I mean, I've kind of been
Man.
secretly
stop.
feeling that way. It's the truth, CT. There's no.
Is Patty Mahomes still in the league?
Yeah.
Is Patty Mahomes still in the league?
Did Patty Mahomes beat Jalen Hurts the other week?
Did he beat him in the Super Bowl?
But he didn't do
the
nothing
biggest
wrong.
game of the biggest
No,
game. You're talking about a regular
CT.
season game.
CT,
Patty Mahomes
CT.
lost a lot of regular season
Bruh,
games. He's
was
lost
that
plenty.
hold on, time out. Was that Eagles team the same offense and team this year
Just
as compared
about.
to the Super Bowl? No, it wasn't.
Just
CT.
about. Just about.
Just about don't cut it, bruh. Just about don't cut it. You didn't have
What
no
do you mean?
DeAndre Swift. What do I mean? You didn't have no DeAndre Swift.
Is
You didn't
Miles
have
Sanders
it.
that far
You didn't.
off?
No, you didn't have. Yes. What are you talking about? Right?
No, he's not.
DeAndre Swift's performance compared to Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders had
Yeah, I'm
one.
taking-
Tell him he
I'm
had
taking
one good
DeAndre
season in
over
Philly.
Miles.
Right. CT, do your homework. He had one good season.
But I'm
in-
also
nigga,
I
taking-
said,
nigga.
was he that far off compared? Like,
Well,
a
I'm
stat-
saying yes.
as a player
yes.
wise, no, he's
But
not.
I'm
No,
also
he's not.
taking Patty over Hurts, too.
Yeah, so
That-
stop playing. So he can't be the clutches in the league.
And I'm still taking Josh over both of them. All right.
And that's
I'm out.
all right, Mike. And all right,
You
Mike.
can't-
The showers.
hey,
Hey, Ray, who's hitting the showers?
Sean?
Who's hitting the? Yeah, no, not Sean. Although he's close. Patchouli, the leader of the
Fuck,
referee goon squad
The
that
Zebra
Philly
gang?
had the fucking A band. Like,
That's what happens when you're the best team in the league. They used to say the same thing about the Patriots. I mean,
Man, get the
it
fuck
happens
outta
in
here.
every sport. Did they not?
Tom
Did they
didn't
not?
need- Tom didn't need the officials.
Yes,
The
he
Eagles
did.
No,
The
he did
officials,
not.
the officials let him get away.
He did a few
CT,
times.
they let your boy get away with fucking deflating the football before he played the Colts. They knew
Bro,
about it and let him
it's
get
a
away with it.
football. If it's flat, if it's aired up, it's the same. You're throwing it the same way. The fuck?
No.
You can pick
Come
the
on,
ball the
Cliff.
same way.
Tell him,
No,
Cliff.
you're right, but no, there's
Like, what?
a definite advantage to having a deflated football.
Tell him, Cliff.
It was not like the
you can
football was
catch
flat. Stop
a
playing it.
deflated
Like,
football you can catch with 2 fingers.
you can't even throw a flat football for it like that.
No, there's a difference between a flat.
Yeah,
and
come
a
on, be real.
deflated.
Tom Brady's not
And a
throwing
deflated,
no
right?
Spider-Man.
A flat,
No.
exactly. A flat and deflated are different.
Deflated means is that you don't
Deflate
have to
'em,
apply
It means
maximum
air is not in the
pressure
ball.
to show indentation in that ball. I can just grab it and I can squeeze it, somewhat like a harder Nerf ball.
Referee touching the ball the whole time, the whole game. He ain't noticed it.
But the referee's also not gripping it.
And they're friends with Brady. Brady
ref's
probably got
not
him over for
gripping it?
dinner.
Oh, stop it.
You ain't never seen a ref do an overhand throw on a field one time.
Nope.
They all do that underhand
Nope.
shit. It's easy
Mhm.
to
I
catch
see them
the
pick
ball.
the balls up and stuff though when the pair
Right.
throw it or something far away
Right,
from
but
them.
in
They
order
gotta go
to
pick
check
it up.
to see if a ball is deflated, you gotta squeeze that.
You can
motherfucker.
you touch this ball from that ball, you would know like, oh
no,
wow.
see that's that you're stuck on flat and deflated.
No, I'm talking about a deflated football.
Flat and deflated are two different things, though.
If they were talking about what
a
it was, the
deflated
14.2.
A deflated football is still the same circumference as an inflated football. There's no difference in circumference. There's difference in pressure. So that means that I can grab the ball. I can actually grab it with my
All the years
fingertips.
we've been going to the playoffs, playing all these games, we just want to go this game. We want to choose the coach to deflate a football on.
Well, I was wondering the same thing as you.
No. See,
coach.
that's where motherfuckers get it twisted. That's the game you got caught.
Got caught?
Right.
Okay. So the referees and stuff.
You think you just did it that one
Hold
time
on.
against the
Hold on.
Colts?
CT, because right before you hopped on Cliff, I had
We would have gotten in trouble way more if
Y'all
that
had
was the case.
Deflategate and Spygate going on in the
No,
same
because
season.
Robert Kraft throws parties every year. Everybody's at him. Them all white. Everybody,
Yeah.
any kind of celebrity, all A-list celebrities type shit.
Michael Rubin,
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, y'all locked in, CT. Robert Kraft,
It ain't
Brady.
about being locked
McNeil,
in.
Robert
All I'm
Kraft,
saying is
McNeil.
Right, you hear me?
if you had Deflategate and Spygate in the same season, you think
Oh,
the
Braun went
Colts
off.
No,
game-
we didn't.
that was the same season.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think. Wait, you mean for the Saints clip when you said
They
the
said
Spygate?
Spygate was like 2000. It was way early.
I don't think they were the same season. They were
It
different.
wasn't.
You talking about the Saints and the versus the Patriots situation, right?
No,
They
it
weren't the
was
same
Deflategate-
season.
The-
I'll look it up.
It wasn't the same season. That was early 2000s, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
Spygate shit, 2005,
I
2006.
can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was early. 2003, maybe.
Nah, it wasn't
It
that late.
was. Well-
Look it up, Mal.
They got penalized in 2012, and it was in 2011. The scandal happened about 2011. Yeah, 2011.
And when
With
did
the
Deflategate
Saints.
happen?
Like 14, 15.
Let me see.
When Andrew
All
Luck
I'm
was in the
saying
league.
is if you are at teams' facilities recording practices and shit, taking a
We
page
ain't
out of
doing
Michigan's
we ain't
book,
doing what Michigan do. I'm about to say we ain't doing no Michigan
taking a
type
page out of
things,
Michigan's
man.
book, then
Harbaugh, you see Harbaugh
I guarantee you that ball being deflated, that wasn't the only game in Indianapolis.
2015. So it was after
Okay,
the
so it
Tom
was-
Brady. 2015.
4 years
15.
separation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought it was earlier, but I don't know why. Yeah.
I thought they was both around the same time. Bless you.
Thank
But-
you.
That's here nor there. But since we on your Patriots, what about them?
Trash. Missed the field goal to you know what I'm saying? We normally hit them. We missed a 34-yard field goal to tie it up.
That motherfucker was like a extra point. That motherfucker wide right. Motherfucker shanked that bitch.
I seen him over there warming up. I said he about to miss this.
He shanked that motherfucker like a.
I was just
pedo
saying
in
why we
jail,
got
boy.
7. I was just so mad we were stuck on 7 the whole time. Like we can't put up no
Y'all
points.
still stuck on 7 till next week.
Yeah, who did y'all play at quarterback? Because I know y'all bench Mac, right?
Zappy.
Yeah, Zappy.
See,
Mhm.
Tom about to get himself. Oh, they're saying I should start Tua this week. Tom about to get himself in some shit, man.
Yep.
I said
Who?
Tom. I meant Mac. I said Tom. I'm tripping. I'm high. I meant Bill. Bill Belichick tripping. I think
That was my
officially tripping.
question. Was Aaron
He's
right?
tripping.
Was
He's
Aaron right?
tripping.
Is Bill Belichick safe?
Yeah, I don't know. CT.
Is he safe?
I don't think they'll fire him, but I do
Man,
think they
y'all
do a Bruce
Don't
Arians
believe the media
situation.
if y'all think he getting fired.
But think about it. But think about it though. Like this is his. They say like one of his worst, if not his worst season.
How many
This is
coaches
his
has been
worst
doing
season.
worse? And Andy Reid is still in the league, and he bet not get
But
fired if that's the case.
Wait.
Andy Reid's different than Andy Reid hasn't had too many bad. I don't recall. I'm not even trying to be funny.
But his resume is not as close as Bill Belichick, so that's what I'm saying.
But
No.
Wait. But here's the thing that we're not taking into account though is the question always was, especially when Tom went to Tampa, is can Bill do it without Tom? Since then,
We got
last
one
year
playoff
was
appearance.
the only decent year.
We got to give it enough time. You know what I'm saying?
How much time? You know how old
Well,
Bill is?
see, here's the thing, and I think it comes
Give him
back.
as much time if you want. If you want to retire, let him retire. Let him do what he
Well,
want to
I don't
do.
know. That might be that might be.
And then after he leave, then y'all can start thinking about reconstruction, whatever y'all want to do.
That
Time out. Bill Belichick is 71 years old.
So he's going out on
funny.
his own terms.
I'm not being discriminatory against age for anybody listening or nothing like that. But let's be realistic.
That's like them firing
71.
Coach K.
Hold on.
Pete Carroll?
Cliff. Yeah, he's old too. But Cliff and CT, think about this. If you are in a rebuild, because I feel like the Patriots are in a rebuild phase right now, you're 71, bruh. You don't really have enough time to do a rebuild at this point in your life. And Pete Carroll's 72.
You don't know that.
Who's coaching till they're 80 years old? Because they're probably under 5. But that's different, right?
Coach K.
Basketball?
What's that? Coach K.
Why?
But it is.
Basketball?
It is.
But what's different?
Oh,
Longer. Basketball is longer and harder. You there
and it's 82 games in a season. It's
plus
only
playoffs
17 here with a bye.
And you want to play in almost every week. You know what I'm saying?
Popovich is 74.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that there is time, and
Bill younger than both of them.
Let's be real. Look at Bill. Look at Bill on the sidelines. He don't look like he's going nowhere.
He's mad too. That's what I like.
But I think they moved him.
I need him to get mad.
I think they'll bring back. I think they'll bring back Josh McDaniels to whatever capacity they're going to bring him back. I think y'all will, and I think
got too much smut on his name
because he was the rumor. Well, he do, but y'all love him. Y'all love Josh McDaniels. Y'all might if it don't work out.
He loved us. He was protecting us.
Cliff, hot take. If it don't work out with Mac and them,
but
watch them go get Jimmy and Josh McDaniels. Watch them.
Oh, they better
watch
them.
You
know what? Like I said, I did say I think if Jimmy
we don't need the same system. The players that we had, the coaches we had.
But Jimmy looked all right for y'all. But that's the thing for y'all. Those two people.
Jimmy looks all right. Well. Jimmy looks all right under Belichick ball, and I'm sure Belichick ball is McDaniel's ball. Don't get me wrong. But I doubt that if McDaniels came back, I doubt it would just be an OC situation. You feel what I'm saying? I guarantee you if they were to bring him back, they would be saying, we're grooming you to replace Bill.
That's what I'm saying. So here's what they were already going to do last time. I remember when he was OC, they were allegedly grooming him to be a successor maybe one day to Bill before he went off for his head coaching.
Now here's the thing about that though. That would either indicate that you're going to keep the same or similar ball style like Bill Belichick, which would indicate that CT's frustrations will still be true 5 years from now as far as them not drafting the players they need to draft, evolving the game that they used to play. Because that's the issue is if McDaniels comes back, he's still going to be in the same boat that Belichick was in, where it's, well, we wanted to know what you could do without Tom. And apparently it's been shit. Because you failed.
Try to get Tom back.
You failed in Vegas. He's been failing since Tom left New England. We need somebody that we know is going to do something.
We might as well try to get
Tom this is back. Why I'm looking at, and here's the difference.
Out of all of we need Tom.
But I just thought about it. here's the difference.
Next head coach can be Tom. Offensive coordinator, we want Tom. You know what I'm saying? We need Tom in the building.
Between Mac Jones and I'm gonna let you get that out, but between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, there was only a total of 2 sacks, 8 hurries. So that says that the line's doing their job.
Or you just throwing that motherfucker super quick.
Nah, the line's doing their job. I don't care what nobody say.
Well, they ain't doing their job on the run.
Motherfucker, what was it? Who was it? Tim Boyle who played that last game? 49 hurries.
For the Jets?
Yeah. What you think Aaron Rodgers gonna be? He gonna be hurrying along with him if he come back.
But he was out there against Khalil Mack and them, yeah. Was that who they played? The Chargers?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah,
no, they played the Dolphins. They played the Dolphins. The Chargers played the Ravens.
You right.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gave up that pick 6 to the crib.
Mm-hmm.
Before the half, it looked like a punt return.
But what was you about to say, Mark, about New England?
Well, I was just saying, they got Bill Belichick. Here's the difference between Belichick and a Popovich. Both of them are older in their 70s. Both of them are like the president/GMs and the head coaches of their respective teams. For those who know or don't know that. The difference is, what a Popovich going to go out and do if he's in the rebuild? Go get a one-time generation talent like Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? So you see the build, you see it. And
he got.
I'm not trying to hate on that. He did no. I'm not saying he didn't. But to your point,
you go get a 7.5.
But you gotta be mad at Bill twice, because if you're the head coach and the general manager, and you're just not picking people up in free agency and drafts like you should, you should and you need to.
If he blew a first round draft pick like that, then yeah, but we ain't getting no type of draft picks like that.
Last year y'all ain't really have too much.
But regardless, though, you have a general manager role as well. You have more, some coaches got to run it by him. I really want this player. I really want to try to get. Bro, you the coach and the GM. Hey, Bob, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this guy.
Bill probably don't even got social media now. He probably still stuck in them old ways, man.
That's his problem. So that's gonna be his down. That's gonna be bingo.
Drafting.
Because he's not keeping up with the times. See, Popovich is adapted.
He's adapted.
You see it. He's adapted. He ain't adapting. CT. Bill ain't adapting shit.
Yeah.
I ain't even write down the Pat's draft picks.
Pat's draft picks.
Yeah, CT might not have been on that episode because I only did Raiders, Eagles, and Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
But I see here that New England gave away their 84th pick. That's where the Dolphins got Devin Achane. That's another tough one. You went and got Ezekiel Elliott when you could have got Devin Achane.
You right. That's what I'm saying. We could have had Amari St. Brown.
See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't do shit right.
But
it's on Bill.
The Raiders do it the same way, so I can't really, say too much.
But the Raiders don't give their coach the president position as well, Cliff. They have different people playing those roles, so that falls on two people.
You're right.
This falls on one man to an extent. You're the coach and the
when you've been
general
right
manager.
for 20 plus years, it's kind of hard tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes when you get too old, you just stuck in your ways. Let's be honest. A lot of us is probably stuck in our ways in certain ways. You know what I mean? Let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
So I can imagine Bill.
Just like Deion Sanders. Who's going to change Deion? Nobody.
But the only
conference
reason that we would be stuck in our ways is because we don't have an ever-changing group of competition, if that makes sense.
True.
When you're in the league, it's always changing. They just fired Frank Reich from South Carolina or North Carolina.
Panthers, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, there's constantly an evolution. We got rid of Josh McDaniels. Now Antonio Pierce shaking up shit with because we got a new coach. So when you're constantly having an ever-changing, ever-evolving group of competition, you kind of have to.
Right.
Especially when you see your ways not working, and to be honest, it hasn't been working for a while.
And he used to have a lot of leaders in the building, like a Vince Wilfork, Devin McCourty. He ain't got nobody in the building now to where you can be like, a different voice for the like.
And I agree, but you gotta build that kind of code because think about it, they all had that didn't just happen. They had to build that. You know what I mean? So it can be done. You know the type of respect you command, the type of coach that you are. You know what you can create. What's going on?
So I
think it's some other team's time now. We had our time.
That's true too.
The question that's very true as well. Everybody
there's 32 teams in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't stay on top
forever.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
But
you can't.
I guess what it comes down to, though, very simply, is do you believe, and don't be immediately hard on them, but do you believe Mac Jones can be I won't call him a generational talent, but
on any other team he's gonna play great to me.
I think so.
Do you remember
any other team?
Y'all remember we've already seen this, right? Y'all remember the Matt Leinerts, the Brady Quinns.
Yeah, Sam Bradford.
You know what I'm saying? Big name quarterbacks in college, did their thing in college, and they ended up being mediocre quarterbacks in the NFL. It happens. Some guys peak too early. Mac might have peaked too early. That's real shit. That might have been what it's been.
I don't think he's.
He had a decent year with that rookie year.
Look at all them other Alabama dudes.
His second year wasn't awful.
I said he was a Pro Bowl his rookie year.
Yeah, his second year wasn't awful. They just wasn't in the same position they was in the first year. But I wouldn't say that his play declined at all.
See, he had Julian Edelman his rookie when Julian Edelman was on his last year. You know what I'm saying? A vet like that, you can know what I'm saying. You can go to war with, but you got Devontae Parker now. You can't go to war with him. Juju Smith.
He's been absent.
He's
just been absent.
Has he been absent or not targeted? Because
in California, he lives in
Cali. And it could be. Well, I mean, not targeted.
Look how they've been doing Chase Claypool.
Not targeted is
man. No, he happy.
Well. Chase Claypool, he's not getting no looks. Sitting, he's not getting no looks. He needs to be he should be a number 2/3 wide receiver.
He wasn't even dressed up in a uniform, so.
See, that's what I'm saying. That don't make no sense to me. Oh, they're saying I should sit the damn Philly defense this week.
And it's crazy. He'd be a number 1 on our team.
Yeah.
That's sad.
See, sometimes that's how the dice roll.
I know, and we got snake eyes, don't we? We roll them.
That's why I was surprised that.
Right back.
Let me get that back.
That's why I was surprised.
I'm paying all the taxes.
Picked up Juju though, because
me too. I wasn't even happy.
Juju had questions about his attitude in Pittsburgh.
Super Bowl high. He was coming off a Super Bowl.
And then you won one with Kansas City, so your head's even more blown.
Your head's big.
And then you going to the Patriots with Bill. Well,
we ain't heard nothing from Juju this year at all. We ain't heard nothing.
Yeah, but Randy Moss did it, and Randy Moss was considered a controversial player at times. With his media and his...
Not like they wasn't on social media doing stupid shit.
No, well, they didn't really have social media like that.
I'm sure Randy would have been on it if he was.
He would have been on it.
But here's the difference, though. Randy was good enough to be as big-headed as he... I won't even say big-headed.
As confident.
That was the wrong... I'm just
saying... whatever.
When people say this player has attitude issues, if you Randy Moss, you like... Nigga, that's why. But when you Juju Smith-Schuster, you like, nigga, shut up and get paid, nigga.
Man.
Well, I never liked him when, remember, he was on the Steelers and he kept doing them TikToks on other teams' fields and shit.
That's what kind of got me off of him for real.
Me too.
Because I remember watching the what is it, that draft shit, whatever, the little show, the background show where they show like the people's family talking about him and all that, and him and his squad was on there. And I remember when he got drafted and ran out into the beach and
Hawaiian kid, beach kid,
Cali
boy, which is cool. But you man, I'm not trying to be a hater, but yeah, he just was very immature from the jump to me. Like, and you're not that great of a player. I mean, he was all right, but you're not.
Well, I don't know.
Especially when you got AB out there on the other side.
Right.
From the jump, it kind of, because that was the same year that your boy was on it, James Conner, who was Mr. Irrelevant.
You mean Le'Veon Bell? Oh, you mean in the draft?
James Conner, who was Mr. Irrelevant of his specific draft. They both was on there, and they both got drafted low. Juju and his family got dressed up like 2 nights in a row and didn't get. I'm just saying the draft is like 2, but what I'm getting at is he thought he was gonna go higher than he did, which is why he got geeked and ran out and did his little thing in the beach. But my thing is, when you got selected, I would have thought, you low, humble young man. And he got there and he just, but I can't say I wouldn't have done the same. But I also know
when you got to New England?
No, when I got to Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown. I said AJ Brown. Antonio Brown on a decline. I'm starting to be the go-to guy. It's my rookie year. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I can't be too hard on him, but that is kind of what made me veer away. Like, oh, he's not the.
Sound like I seen him at the Chris Brown concert.
He's not the young man I thought he was. You say you see who?
I seen him at the Chris Brown concert. He was running down my aisle. I'm like, is that Juju Smith? I got a video. I'm gonna send it to you after we get off the pod.
He seemed like a lame.
I'm like, Juju. We was in Pittsburgh too. It's when he was on the Steelers.
Mark stupid. But fuck him. Oh yeah, and that was a Patriots 7, Giants 10 loss.
Yeah, I had my money on y'all. I was shitty. I forgot Mac was.
You had your money on us?
Mm-hmm. Yep, literally. I had a parlay.
No, Mac played a little bit. Mac
played the first half.
Yeah, he started. He was 12 for 21, 89 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
But Bill got to stop doing that too. You can't for any quarterback. You can't get into a rhythm, and it kills your confidence. Yeah, but
0.
Sometimes you got to let your guy, especially if you're trying to build. Like, okay, for example, niggas could have bench Russ this year, but
why?
Sean. Because shit wasn't looking right at first. Shit wasn't clicking, bro. Shit wasn't looking right. That shit was awful. And remember how they got smoked by the Dolphins? What the fuck?
That was like.
Remember how they got smoked by the Dolphins?
And ever since then, that woke them up.
You know what I'm saying?
It must have
like
real.
But I'm saying you could have been like, all right, I'm gonna make some changes. But you gotta, if that's your guy, and you're trying to, you gotta build. You gotta try. You gotta let him cook. Like Kenny Pickett. How many times he talks about, I'm a bench Kenny Pickett or rumors? You know what I'm saying? They keep riding with him.
He's been benched
this year. I don't think he's been. I think he's been out for injury, but I don't think he's been benched this. I don't think they benched him this year.
I don't think they benched him.
No. They riding with him, do or die.
And listen, that's the most. I won't say the most, but he's up there. Wishy-washy.
But
he's lucky. He's getting these wins, man.
You got defense. It's not luck. You got defense. Thing. You could be that's the thing. Yeah. You could be an average, mediocre, whatever say quarterback if you got a defense at least. Yeah.
They got their quarterback on defense.
Man, that boy Watt. Yeah, he's special. He's special. He's special.
Yeah.
Let me see something here.
They had his stats compared to Myles Garrett today. He beat him by a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he probably get defensive player or him or Deron Bland.
No, I can't forget about Micah Parsons though.
Well, Deron Bland's the one tying records, breaking records, whatever the fuck he doing with the pick sixes most of the season. So they got him talked up there, which I think that's overrated. But now, who did the Raiders? I forgot who did the Raiders play this past week?
That's who he was about to go to.
It was the Chiefs, right?
The Chiefs.
How'd you feel about that game?
That's crazy because look, it's on right now on NFL Network.
Is it? Oh shit!
Yeah,
I say Sean Devontae.
they showing Devontae.
Ooh.
See, sometimes I just rewatch the game. Like, oh, I didn't see this. Let me rewatch the game.
Yeah, that's why I be having to look up the highlights.
Let me go and watch it from here, and I can
Right.
wind it fast forward. So let me go and pause it.
Shit,
You know?
sometimes that's all I do is look up the highlights and the stats.
Man, especially on Wednesday, I would wake up looking. Let me go and do a
Yeah, on
recap of
games
all the
I don't really
games.
care to see. I'm not about to watch that.
I know I didn't watch this game. Let me go
Yeah.
and get some hot info off this.
But that Raiders game. I don't know how I feel about it, to be quite honest. I know we was winning once again.
Josh Jacobs got me some fantasy points.
Oh yeah, Josh Jacobs went off. 20 carries, 110 yards, 1 touchdown,
Ooh.
63-yard long. But
Ooh.
I don't know what it is. Like, okay, so if I'm before we even get into the game specifics, if I am a part of the Raiders organization, I strongly recommend them to focus on defense. You need to acquire a quarterback, of course. Even if you have faith in Aiden O'Connell, you still need another quarterback.
Yeah,
You do.
Because it's evident that Jimmy G was only there because of Josh, and you got rid of him. And
Right.
It ain't gonna be too many quarterbacks out there y'all can just hide on the bench.
Well, that's my thing. Is it's a Geno Smith situation at that point. That's for y'all to work out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this Aiden doesn't have to be the starter. But y'all got to work that out. We got to see who does better in, training camp, all that, to see who we go with. And if my intuition is true, like I said, I think Justin Fields will be available. If the Raiders are smart, they make a hard go for him.
Yeah. He did look nice the other night. He's a scapegoat. He can escape out of like a lot.
And he doesn't have nothing. He's not working with anything.
Real talk.
Now,
and it looks like he don't want to run a lot. He want to pass.
Right. So if you gave him a squad,
even
if
he'd be like a CJ Stroud type for me.
Right. Even if Devontae chooses to leave, you still got Jacoby. You can pick up another receiver. The youngin' out of Cincinnati, Trey Tucker, is doing his thing. Give him a little bit more look until you find somebody you want to fill that role. But he still has more weapons there than he would in Chicago.
You're right.
So what does that Justin Fields look like? And my whole thing is we going back to attitude.
He don't even talk about Mooney no more.
Not too much.
Man, they showed his not
this
too
much.
This is like his worst year by far.
That is crazy, huh?
Man, and he's a player.
That is crazy. I didn't even think about that.
They get DJ Moore and don't even look at him no more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but that's the same way that motherfucking Peoples Jones is.
Peoples Jones.
Yeah, Donovan Peoples
He
Jones.
wishy-washy.
He's done. He's on Detroit too. I ain't even seen him get a catch on Detroit yet.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. After last year, it was just like,
why bring him in if y'all not finna use him, y'all? It ain't like Reynolds is good.
And he didn't go out bad in Cleveland. Like everybody towards the end of this, remember we you specifically got into an argument with Darren because we was talking about how much Amari was dropping balls and wasn't doing shit.
Right.
And how we said Peoples Jones was the one that was getting all the touchdowns in the wide
receiver. He was, but he's wishy-washy though. He's wishy-washy though. He's just not consistent.
I've seen him.
He's just a mediocre.
I've seen him make some drops. I will say that.
MVS type player.
Yeah, he's just not consistent. Right. Right.
Perfect
He is.
comparison, ain't
Yeah.
it?
He's just not. He's cool. Like when he's on, he's on. But when he's off,
I can't see our receiver just don't be wanting to get the ball. Like, I can't be in the league if
Right, you just running
like,
routes for nothing.
you ain't getting no like targets or
I'm
nothing.
just getting bruised up, going home all bruised
Yeah,
up, and I
like-
get no stats.
this season
and
he's got.
you see in the league like Tyreek almost got 2,000. I can't even get 100. I can't even get 100.
He's only got 3 starts this season.
But fuck it, what I am getting is a check.
I mean, yeah, no doubt.
So I'll sit
But
my
that
motherfucking
shit
ass
goes
on this
quick.
bitch and be ready for you as long as that motherfucking check keep coming.
All right.
The fuck, I don't
That's why
care if
most
I
of them
ain't get but
motherfuckers
1
retire
yard a
early.
game. This nigga ended last game with -7. I don't care. Check keep coming. Check keep coming.
You staying in shape, you getting a check.
The fuck, right. They gonna be like,
Your
you was
money
the
ain't
worst
going
nigga in
up, though.
NFL. I was in it, motherfucker.
You want
Yeah,
a promotion.
Right. I mean, now your niggas around you might be like,
he
we
getting
But-
demoted.
I will say 3 starts is crazy.
Yeah, he only got 3 starts. He's got 8 receptions, 97 yards, averages 12.1, 0 touchdowns.
See, he ain't even got 100.
Longest is 29.
With 3 starts, what you gonna have?
You can get that in a game.
You
I'm
can,
just saying, but
it's
yeah,
also about targets, and he's never gonna be a number 1 guy. He's never gonna be a number 1 guy. I'm not gonna say he can't eventually get to being someone's number 1 guy, but as far as Cleveland goes, as far as Detroit goes, he's not gonna be a number 1 guy.
I was thinking number 2.
So, right, he might not be that. You feel what I'm saying? So every time you drop me a number, that also equates to the amount of targets I'm gonna be getting as well. Because trust and believe, if I slip from 1 to 2 and maybe even 2 to 3, I might get 4 targets.
Yeah.
So I gotta, make something happen with this 4. But when you only getting 3 starts, that's like if they gave you 4, you got 12 targets. You got 12 targets. That's why you getting them little ass yards. And knowing Peoples-Jones, he probably dropped 1 or 2.
Right. Right about that.
So when you got Amon-Ra St. Brown on your squad, you like, fuck that. I'm not passing the number 11.
He's over a double. Let me throw it over one time. He gotta bust one.
Listen.
I seen it on film before he did. I seen it before he.
But yeah, but back to the Raiders game. I just think Patrick Mahomes does what Patrick Mahomes does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter how much you're down. The Chiefs are always in the game. You know what I'm saying? We went from being 14-0 with 6-7 minutes left in the second half or the second quarter to losing the game 31-17.
The Chiefs are more of a second half team. They're more of a start off
That's what I mean.
slower.
It doesn't matter what they're down. It doesn't matter. Patty's always.
They pace themselves. They pace themselves. I feel like.
And
almost.
Mind you, last game you had Valdez-Scantling get the drop. You had Travis Kelce with the fumble. You think that they wasn't already coming back trying to be on some bullshit? We just so happen to be the team in their way. But I will say, I respect the fight in them, but you got to focus on your defense. This draft, you have to focus on your defense. Because you have certain players that are by themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
you
got Max Crosby on the line by himself, trying to get all the work himself. Then you look at the second level with the linebackers. All you have is Robert Spillane. Their next best linebacker, I will argue, may be Divine Diablo, who came out of TCU. Not TCU, that's where Moore came out of. But he was a safety before they made him bulk up to be a linebacker. That's why he's not cracking. He was never that. You feel what I'm saying? He was a safety, and you expect him to be an aggressive linebacker now?
He said that's why he wasn't cracking.
Come on. That's why I
Y'all
look
got
at some
to
of their
know what.
decisions like they just be fucking shit up. Like, I don't know what you... And don't get me wrong, that may have fit a need. Like, nah, we need him at linebacker. We need a coverage linebacker. We need to make him that. I get it. It may have fit a need, but at some point you have to stop changing and switching shit and just get the shit you need.
Right.
Just think if y'all had Chandler
Right.
Jones still.
Got
Man.
who? Still had who?
Chandler.
Chandler. He was just on World Star the other day, walking around his house asshole naked, talking into his FaceTime. They didn't show all of everything.
What's wrong with him?
Just players that y'all ugly. Henry Ruggs.
He was showing like his weed that he was smoking and all kinds of shit. Yeah, he was.
Man.
Yeah, he was.
He was on his Paul Pierce saying,
that essentially, that's what it looked like. Because I didn't, I wasn't
Some AB
listening.
type.
I wasn't listening to everything that he was saying, but I was like, yeah, I don't really see no wrong here. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was flashing the camera or doing nothing crazy. Like, you just showed your little stash and he went out like he had like either he had something and went out into the hot tub and sat down in the hot tub and was talking on the phone.
Yeah, he's
Damn.
But I bet if I go back and I listen to what he said, I'm probably gonna be like, yep.
Right, I'm right there with
he
you.
On one. No, like he on one. Yeah, he's bugging out.
Yeah, he probably on some shit for like low key. I wouldn't be surprised.
missing football too. He probably going through it.
And you gotta specify for listeners when you say he on some shit. Do you believe he's on like drugs, or when you say he's on
Probably.
some shit? Okay.
He's probably
It's the Jones brothers, bro.
going right.
Right.
They all got a little, not to be.
Oh, I'm sure
What's
you know
that word?
everybody
What's the
got
word?
demons in them. You know what I'm saying? But
Not the stereotype, but
I mean, it could just be mental health.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
Wow.
you made a great point. Your genes are a motherfucker.
Right.
You'd be surprised
They
what
play a
gets
part.
passed down through them. You feel what I'm saying? And the fact that you said he's John Jones' brother, which is another motherfucker that I say, yeah, he probably has some mental health shit going on.
Yeah.
So when you got that, you know what I'm saying, paired with
That should play a
getting
factor.
beating your head for a living,
That's a lot.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta cut a motherfucker some slack.
Oh yeah, I mean I ain't judging nobody. It's just, hey, get it how you live.
Yeah, I don't know if you make it back to the league.
Right.
You know what
No.
I'm saying? You were already older.
But man, I know he ain't going. I don't hope he ain't going out like that.
I mean, I would hope not, but
You want to retire like on your terms and stuff. Like,
they need to do more for the players. They need to do more for the players at the end of the day. They making money hand over motherfucking foot. And you mean to tell me you can't make sure these motherfuckers is taken care of? Like, that's wild to me. Motherfuckers gotta be in the league 7 years and meet so many stats before they consider them to be this type of player to get this type of coverage. Like, y'all running a fucking game. And you try to tell us that the life of a running back is only 2.5 years. How the fuck is a motherfucker supposed to stay in the league 7 years and get insured for all of the damage that they took while they was making money for
shit.
your motherfucking ass? This shit don't make sense.
Nah, you right.
You know?
That's how they do us.
You know
That's-
how I go. These rich men north of Richmond.
Richmond,
You know?
rich get richer.
That's how I go. But yeah, Raiders,
This wasn't it.
I mean, it wasn't even that they wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they waived Marcus Peters.
I seen that. I was gonna bring that up.
And
Wow,
I'm
they
happy.
did.
And I'm happy about that. I was excited to have him, but it's one of those situations where you're like, what Marcus Peters are we getting?
He was probably a cancer to the team too. Probably arguing. You know how he get.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, exactly. You know how he get. Well, you know how he's known to get. We don't know if
I
he
don't
get.
see why would it change.
But my whole thing is, I've seen him multiple times quit on plays,
Mm-hmm.
like makeable plays, and you just jogging out there, like you
I
just
think I
don't
got
want
a
to be here.
notification. I think I got a notification where it was one of my things saying he quit on the play. I was like, dang,
Man,
no way.
I saw it watching the game.
They said that
like,
about
oh, man,
Deontay
come on
Johnson
now.
too.
That's who it was.
Deontay Johnson. Yep.
I
Even
was
under
like,
fire
I got a
for that too.
notification about he quit on a play. I said, what? They did that?
Niggas is ill,
When
bro.
was that?
Recently in a game,
Last week.
last game,
Was it?
Steelers played in. He just quit on a play. Just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
They played the Browns.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
won, but
the Browns won,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, he been talking shit in the locker room. I guess his attitude been trash.
Not
You know the
getting the
Steelers.
ball. They be crying.
That
when
was
they
when
get
I
the
was.
ball.
That was when I was at
Right.
BLB3s with Pops, but the games was on at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? So I was definitely missing more of the Browns Patriots than I was the Raiders. I would just turn every time commercial break or whatever.
Right.
But that very same week, I don't know what the fuck was in the air because I saw Marcus Peters do it blatantly. And when I tell you this motherfucker was probably only like maybe 5-6 yards away from him, it was Tyreek Hill, but he was running sideways. He wasn't going directly upfield, and he
Right.
jogged it out when he could have. He could have made up. He could have got hands on him.
Right. He could have
tapped
did
his
some
cleat or something.
Right.
Like,
He could have made some. Yeah. Some
he
moves.
was just jogging like fuck it. He gonna burn me anyway.
Man.
I said, yeah, no, get rid of him.
Yeah, you can't have that. Well, you can't have that.
As soon as I seen that, I said, get rid of him. And the very next week, get him out of here.
Gotta go.
You know, God bless him. And thank you for what you did for us. He got a pick 6 for us. You know what I'm saying?
I swear.
But
added to his highlight film.
But we can't have motherfuckers that choose when they want to turn it on and turn it off. That ain't how this works.
All right.
You know? And
you gotta be consistent.
You played enough ball to know that. So
especially nowadays where everything is highlighted and spotlighted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you a veteran, bro. You can't be playing like that.
Come on now. They got motherfucking cameras over the wires that are on the field with you. On the field with you, moving,
following you,
right? While you
high tech shit, next gen stats. They've invested a lot of money in.
And you think you're not being watched every play?
Especially because they're paying you all that money. Oh, Big Brother's there. Big Brother's there.
That's one of the first things that motherfuckers tell you. At least my motherfuckers, you gotta play every play like all eyes are on you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You got to do every push up like the coach is watching.
Right.
Because somebody's watching.
Somebody's
going to be seen somewhere. So you got to make sure you're not the one cutting corners. So
these young guys is looking at you too.
Mm-hmm.
They know who Marcus Peters is. They looking.
And it's a wolf pack. Let's keep it a buck. It's a wolf pack. And we know what wolves do. You gotta kill the old.
And they see why he's been bounced around the league a lot. How many teams he been on?
It was the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Ravens.
No, not the Seahawks.
Oh no, he wasn't on the Seahawks. I know he was on the Ravens. He was on the Rams, the Ravens, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
He was on the Chiefs?
And the Raiders.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking
I think he got a Super Bowl.
He said the Rams, the Ravens, the Raiders, the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who was I thinking?
I don't know why I was thinking more.
I don't know. How long was his career? I said was like he ain't still in the league.
Yeah. Somebody
He's
pick him up.
Yeah, somebody will.
well, he's 30, so he's 30. He's been in the league since 2015. Came in the league in 2015.
Oh, he's only been there 8 years, so he's
He's
still,
played. He came in with the Chiefs, then went to the Rams, then the Ravens, then the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
Mm.
Well, we know he getting insured.
He about to be on a Super Bowl contender team.
But that's another thing.
Eh?
I mean, the Raiders don't start Palomalu's nephew.
Palomalu's nephew.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Palomalu's
What's
nephew?
the nigga's name? Palau or whatever. Something Palau.
Let me find out his nephew played for y'all.
Yeah.
Well, his nephew supposed to be like his uncle or something?
I mean, he played in the Dolphins game and he got a pick and hold up, I got the stats. He had a pick and I think 4 total tackles, 2 solos.
Mm.
Isaiah Palamau, 7 total tackles, 4 solos, 1 interception. And they took him out and put Marcus Epps back in there.
Did they?
Yeah, he's good. Like, don't get me wrong, he may be deserving of having the starting spot. But I'm saying, how do you bench somebody that just did that for you the week before?
Right.
I don't care if you're healthy. Let me play my youngin' for a minute. He's a rookie too. I believe he's a rookie. It might be his second year. But let me play him.
Right.
You hurt. Heal up a little bit longer. He doing all right. So they just don't make the best decisions at the end of the day. I'm hoping that changes with Antonio Pierce being the coach, and I'm hoping that they keep him on after the season. But we'll see how that goes.
They might, the way he's looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely, and even the tough teams, like I said, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, he giving them a run for their money. It's just with any team that isn't complete, you drag them to deep water and they'll eventually show you why they don't deserve to be there. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do in any situation where you know a motherfucker ain't, nah, I'm going to just wear you out until I got you right where I need you to be.
All right.
And then I'm about to turn it on and show you why you shouldn't be here with me. And that's how it's been. And it's not that I'm saying like my squad just doesn't deserve to be there. They definitely do. It's just that there's so many holes in your whole team. Not even like just on the defense, offensively and defensively. You have holes.
Yeah.
You can improve that line. Quarterback's still up for grabs, in my opinion. And let's not talk about the potential of your 2 best offensive players wanting out anyway. I know ain't much change with Devontae Adams. He only got what? Jacoby got 6. He got 5, I believe. Yeah, 5 receptions for like
73, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And Jacoby got the touchdown.
Yeah, he's been getting the touchdown fuck all year.
Especially when Aiden play. When Aiden play, that's his number 1 guy. He gets the ball to Devontae because he's supposed to, but when the game's on the line, he's looking for Jacoby.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad Jacoby ain't like let us down or nothing, but it's just like that ain't good for the team though, right? When you want a motherfucker to stay with you. You know? Jacoby signed his. We need Devontae to stay. Mm-hmm. All right? Make sure he's happy.
Yeah, I think Devontae's gonna want to leave.
Right.
I mean, I think he's
He ain't getting looks.
And I mean, he's not getting any younger as well.
Right.
Like, you know, the motherfucker 31.
Right. We'll move on to that. Dolphins Jets 34-13.
Mm.
Ain't really much there. I mean, Tua with the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that shit was.
Yeah,
It didn't
Tua
make no
threw
sense.
21 for 30,
He
243
threw some
yards, 1
bad. He
touchdown,
threw some
2
bad
interceptions.
picks.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't consistent either.
And he got 2 sacks, 15 hurries, but that's not a lot.
Right.
That's not a lot considering your offensive line. Like, you have enough time to make better decisions is what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at like I said, Tim Boyle, that motherfucker threw for the same, well, not as many yards,
He looked so
179.
bad.
But he threw for the same shit. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But the only difference is he had 7 sacks, 49 hurries. That motherfucker was running
Well,
for
say
his
it was
life
so
the
many-
whole
he had-
game.
The 3 and outs the whole first half. He didn't get going literally till like the late third quarter, fourth quarter.
And ain't no reason that Tim Boyle should be anywhere. His name tag should not be anywhere next to Tua.
Not his name tag.
You know what I'm saying? When they do the reunions and they set up the placements at the tables, they're not nowhere near each other. But
It's
for
just
some
Mostert
reason,
got going.
you said, well, yeah, he did. Yeah,
He
he
got
had
2 touchdowns.
20
and, like,
carries, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help a lot.
It has to. Because Tua clearly wasn't there that game.
Tyreek
Waddle had a
still got
decent
his,
game.
though.
He had 8 receptions, 114 yards. No touchdowns off 8 targets, too.
And Tyreek still had.
He had 104, 106, I believe. It was
He got a
something like
touchdown,
that.
too, I think.
Yeah, he did. He did. No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No,
Who
he
won the
didn't.
pickups?
I don't have the stats. I was just looking because 2 only threw 1 touchdown.
I think
Malcolm.
you did.
Oh, no, it was to
No,
Tyreek.
you won.
It was to Tyreek. You are right.
CT, I think you won the pick. CT won the pick'ems
CT
last
won
week.
him. Mm-hmm.
Again?
This nigga
Yeah,
said
you,
again. Win a fantasy football game.
Yeah, that shit's hard on man.
Yeah, you
It's a
won
good.
them. I had 2
good thing I'm in another
spreads,
league.
though. You had one. You had the Ravens by 10 over the Chargers. I had the Chiefs 14 and the Giants 3.
What all teams I get?
You had the Cowboys over the Commanders. I thought for some reason, I don't know what, but
What the? On Thanksgiving?
yeah, man, that's what. Yeah, I wasn't. But you had the Eagles over the Bills. I had the Bills by 3. You had the Chargers or the Ravens over the Chargers. I had the Chargers by 3.
Mm.
And the rest of them we got the same.
Hey, who's leading? Me?
I knew you was gonna ask that question. Let me see, cause I know you got the past 2.
3 of them, I think.
Damn. Yeah, you got the past 2. I had the week before. The last 2 you got. I'm looking for the. Where did I write down the scores though?
What's Cuban doing? Working?
Yeah, he been busy dealing with shit.
Yeah.
Damn, where's the scores? I don't know. I have it for you next.
Bet. It's cool.
Because I don't want to do it right now.
Don't even shuffle the deck yet.
It ain't really a whole lot of games we got on the pick'ems this week.
I got them all listed, so whatever games you throw out, I got the spreads ready. Got it all lined up.
7 on it. Was it any news you wanted to throw out before we?
Cowboys cornerback DeRon Bland sets NFL single season pick
Pick
six
six,
record on Thanksgiving Day.
What was
I
that, 6 he
mean,
got?
I see the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think he got 6, and
I want to say
the
it's
record was
6.
5.
I seen a linebacker from the Colts visit the Cowboys too.
Shaquille Leonard.
Man,
Visited the Cowboys.
The Cowboys and the Eagles are interested in Shaquille Leonard from the Colts.
that will be
I was wondering
crazy.
what.
I'll be so he's stacking the deck.
So they just releasing him?
They wavered him, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, they wavered him. So he has 5 pick 6 return
5.
touchdowns. Yeah.
5, yeah.
And the record
He's
is 4.
nuts.
Mike sent the clip in the chat of the alleged horse collar by Hassan Reddick on Josh Allen. Chiefs Travis Kelce becomes fastest tight end to reach 11,000 receiving yards.
Man, still got what 6 games to go.
Man, yeah, he's a dog. 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has no regrets calling Eagles cornerback James Bradbury trash in the offseason.
Well, I mean, I would think that he would know. But that's also to him.
Right. And Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said TJ Watt is the best defensive player on the planet right now.
Legit.
I mean, it's hard to argue. When you said that, I was really stuck for a minute trying to go through my head of who else
is better.
Like as far as you said, defensive player of the year.
I mean, you gotta think.
Well, I was thinking line for some reason. That's not gonna work.
I don't know.
But you gotta think, like, his big brother was defensive player of the year, and he's breaking all of his records now. Like, I
know
he's a fucking dog. Like, and I love Aaron Donald, but he's not been, Aaron Donald, if that makes sense. At least I ain't heard shit, not as of late.
Aaron Donald since Von Miller left.
Right,
no,
keep it
I've
a
been
buck.
watching their games, and he be wrecking his stats. The
I mean,
stats
he's
don't
still
show
gonna
it.
do him. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Stats won't show
but the
what
difference
this man does.
You have to
He's
worry
different.
about Von too. Now
He's
all you gotta do is worry about Aaron.
And you can't even worry. That's the problem. They can't even stop that. I was watching, like, this dude is not slowing down. Like, Aaron Donald is different.
No, he's a dog.
Chasing stuff
can't do it by
down.
himself.
I'm like, yeah, he deflecting stuff, and it ain't even showing up on his stat sheet. Like, breaking through the double team, forcing it that way, and then he'll just come. I'm like, oh yeah, he's tough.
So they're saying Myles Garrett,
but he ain't nowhere near the defensive player of the year.
They're
But
trying to say Myles Garrett's favored.
Yeah, him. If they said it's close, him and Watt. But if you compare their stats, it's like close. And Watt leading a little bit on most of them. So he got like a fumble return touchdown. He probably got more fumble returns. He got more fumble recoveries.
But doesn't Myles too?
He got.
I think he has a fumble return touchdown as well.
A block. I don't think he do. That's what he didn't have, a touchdown.
Let's see. So
who am I
if
thinking
the
of?
Pittsburgh
Was it a pick?
The playoffs.
Oh no, I might be thinking of Quentin Williams.
My fucking dumbass.
Quentin Williams for the Jets.
Yeah, he got that pick. That
Watt got one of.
He got a pick 6. I can't remember.
So
who
TJ Watt this season has 41 combined tackles, 10 assists, 13.5 sacks, 1 interception. And then Myles Garrett this season has 32 combined tackles, 8 assists, 13 sacks.
And Watt got a fumble return touchdown. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would get that to Watt.
I
Yeah.
swear, right now. Yeah.
That nigga dog.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they're still, we only on week 13.
Yeah, but next they got
So it's 5 more games to be played.
they got the Bengals net. Oh no, that's last week. Yeah, a couple games to be played. Oh, they got the Packers next. That's right.
Who?
The Steelers do, and I think he's gonna
Tomorrow?
get some sacks. Is it tomorrow?
No, tomorrow, Seahawks, Cowboys.
Right. Yeah.
You right.
No, I lied. It's not the Chiefs and the Packers. Let me correct myself. It's
You
the
didn't say-
Cardinals and the Steelers that play this week, and I think TJ's gonna get some sacks in that game.
Oh, at least one or two.
Cardinals they're kind of one of the lower end teams.
Yeah, but Kyler's back too.
He's been
he's
back, and they've
definitely
been losing. Right, he's
But
been
no,
back,
I'm
and they've
just
been
saying
losing.
that he's a
No,
very
they won
fast
one.
motherfucker. I'm sure that he's
They won the
rolling
first
away
game
from
they came back.
I'm sure
Kyler-
TJ is one of the people on his list of motherfuckers to
One
watch
is a
out for.
sack.
Right.
Kyler been back for 3 weeks.
3,
3 weeks.
1 and 2. Then 1 and 2.
And I mean, 61 completion percentage, 719
But
yards,
he ain't got no weapons now. He's
2
like,
touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
he ran one in too.
Only way TJ getting 1 for real, 2 for real, is if he gets some backside help that runs him into him. Because we know Kyler's going the opposite way.
Right.
Kyler is like a Tua. He don't like the pocket either. He's running out of there anyway. I guarantee you it's
gone.
going to be away from TJ.
Dude,
He's
last week had a forced fumble. He got blocked by the tight end. The O-lineman came. He moved.
Oh, no, I'm not
dude on
saying
the
he's not a
ground.
dog.
And
I'm not
then he
saying
got the
that.
forced fumble. I said, yeah, this is his. I don't know.
I'm just saying if Kyler's number one attribute would be his quickness behind the line of scrimmage.
But you gotta think how fast like TJ Watt and these guys are too. Like they just showed a next gen stat on Jordan Davis in that Eagles and Bills game. They said Jordan Davis at the range he was running was like a 4.6 40 type shit, and he's 300. They said he's like 330 plus pounds on a good day.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? So if he's doing that, TJ Watt I know is boom right there. He's right there with you. These niggas is fast now.
Nah,
These quarterbacks is quick, but
I don't know if they come quicker than Kyler.
I just don't think Kyler's as fast as you think he is. Like he's shifty, but he's
That's what
not-
I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to break away speed on you. I'm going Lamar from the quarterback position if we talking that.
I
I'm
think his
just-
acceleration's fast too. Like
So
he's
it's like
quick.
DTR, right? Like that nigga there does not get hurries. 0 for 0 every game because I don't know if he has spidey senses. The
Yeah.
motherfucker knows when something's coming and he's out of the way.
But
Lamar doesn't do that. Lamar is still figuring out whether I'm going to take off or I'm going to buy some more time on the pass.
Right.
Kyler's ass is one of them dancers in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage until he feels forced to run the ball. Similar to Tua. The only difference is hella quicker than Tua.
Yeah, but Kyler get hurt easily too. So
He
go
did.
ahead and try to be shifty
He
and run
did.
if you want. But once TJ one way or another gets his hands on you, you can crack that ass,
Kyler's
boy.
like an NFL mouse. Like I scurry real quick on you.
Right, yeah,
Like,
right.
You would think you had me. I scurry your ass real quick.
I
Ah,
swear.
You know
running
what
for
I'm
his
saying?
life.
But
Running for his life.
yeah, unless he get backside pressure, I really don't see TJ getting one on him.
I mean,
Or unless the center breaks down.
he'll come
and
through
it
the
comes
middle.
Straight, right.
He'll come through the
Right,
middle.
that's what I was about to say.
And then have you trying to figure out which way and then reach either way or wrap you, whatever he jump on you, whatever the fuck you gonna
Right.
do.
That's what I was about to say.
Like a lion and a gazelle.
And
You know what I
Kyler's
mean?
little too. It ain't like he
He
can really
is.
see
He's
over the
little as
pocket.
fuck.
So he
Listen,
gotta
But
fall. Take that fall.
that motherfucker
bullshit
said his
if you
dream
want
was
to.
football. I'm like, nigga, you should have been a fucking
Baseball.
shortstop, my nigga.
Right. You had the
Real talk.
contract. Russell had the option too.
He still can.
Yeah, I mean he still can, but
You should have last year.
That
Well,
would
no,
have
he
been
couldn't have
hard.
did. He couldn't have did that though, because he had just got that contract
And he was
the year
rehabbing.
prior. Right? Yeah, you couldn't have did that, but he should have did
If
it before
he's
that
colder
contract.
from, that'd have been hard. For his sport.
Pull a little Dion, pull a little Dion.
You wouldn't get talked about as much in baseball, though, but yeah.
I don't know, because I think that you would still pull some fans from the NFL.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And people know who Kyler Murray is, even if you watch baseball.
But I'm just talking about
so.
news-wise, yeah. Like, he's way more in the headlines now than he would be in.
No, you absolutely correct. But to make a pretty solid argument is right now he's been in the headlines for all the wrong shit. Bad attitude, injury prone, just got paid all this bread, no return.
right.
It's a lot of things on his head that probably wouldn't be in the MLB.
I remember when they was like 7-0 at one point.
Who, the Cardinals?
Cardinals, yeah.
That was last year, wasn't it? Or was it the year before?
Or the year before that.
No, it was fairly recent out there, but I've been off with my year, so.
It's insane. Years go by
Don't
quick
get me
now,
started.
you know what I'm saying?
But let's get into these pick'ems.
What we got?
We'll start with the Thursday night game. Let's start with the Seahawks Cowboys.
Cowboys
Easy.
by 17.
I thought you was gonna say 75. I wouldn't doubt
Hell no. Gino and them ain't that weak.
it.
It depends on how Dak played too. So yeah, I'm gonna go Cowboys by 10.
Mm.
Cause what if the defense for the Seahawks show up?
Right.
Yeah.
The game's gonna be in Dallas, so that's a disadvantage for Seattle.
I'm going Cowboys 24.
You got that much faith in the Cowgirls?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not like yeah. Dak gonna throw at least a pick.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I did want to say though, did you know that the Browns Broncos game was the first time ever in NFL history that there's been a score of 29-12? They ended it with a safety, so that's really what fucked everybody's head up. But
there's never been that exact score in the NFL game.
29-12. I thought that was weird. An interesting stat.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me with those two teams at this point. 29-12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But fuck all that nonsense. 49ers Eagles. Let's jump right into it.
I got Eagles by 6.
Eagles 6.
They got us slated to lose at home by 3 in Vegas on the Vegas odds.
McCaffrey show. It's gonna be 49ers by 10.
49ers.
This a team y'all can't go out there and play around with like y'all be doing them other teams. Thinking y'all just gonna last drive victories.
Brock Purdy know what happened the last time we seen him. He took
There's a
him
lot
out.
of trash talk this round too. I
I
like
think-
it.
Man, we ready for it. And the games in
it's
Philly,
gonna-
that's a rough environment, bro, to play in,
It's gonna
especially
get
this time of year.
I'm going
chippy.
49ers 3.
It's
Okay.
gonna get chippy. Kittle, I
It
need you to
is.
block the right side.
Yeah, we gonna rise to the occasion. That's the test we need. This is what we need, you know.
Here's an easy one. Chargers Pats.
Ooh, I got the
Oh,
Chargers
man.
by 10.
Chargers about 27.
I got Chargers 17.
Chargers 17.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I did that to my dudes. That felt bad.
Let's mix it up. Broncos Texans.
I called that for Texans by
Broncos.
7.
Broncos keep the streak going to 6 games or 7 games. I feel like they're gonna win by 10.
I'm going Texas 6. Browns Rams.
Got the Rams by 6.
Rams 6.
And I got the Browns by 7.
Browns 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Defense wins football games.
I'm going Rams 13.
Like it.
They banged up at that quarterback position. That's tough for them.
Find a way to win. Run that football.
Listen. Dolphins Commanders.
I got the Dolphins by 21. They're going to whoop ass, I feel. Yeah, they said the Commanders allow the most passing yards and touchdowns defensively, I think, in the league. I read a stat.
True ain't been looking too good for me. I'm going to go Commanders by 3.
Oh.
This ain't the. I don't think they're going to play like the Jets, so they're
I'm
going to actually
going.
put up some points.
I gotta go with my first instinct, and I gotta one up you, Mark. I'm going Dolphins 23.
Okay.
Yep, big lead.
Mm.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last one, Falcons Jets.
I called it. Which one? Hold on. What did I call? I
I'm
called
going to go
Falcons.
Falcons
Falcons.
10.
Okay. I have Falcons by 3.
Alright, shit.
I think it's gonna be a tight game.
What's the Jets upset them?
Right. Could
Motherfucker.
be. But who with who?
Right, them teams is sloppy as fuck.
You gonna put Zach back in? You gonna leave Tim out
Yeah.
there? What you gonna do?
Zach,
Oh, Zachary?
he look way better than that dude. Oh my god.
That's your best bet. Hopefully they just sat him to piss him off, cause
And Aaron on a comeback, so yeah, you got show a little something before you.
had a thought, but oh, I don't got nothing else. Who's hitting them?
Josh Giddey, you gotta be more careful. You're 21 years old. There's pictures and videos of you hanging out allegedly with a 15-year-old. Well, at the time, the girl said she was 15 years old, but then it don't make sense because she said she was a junior in high school. But anyway, she was allegedly 15 years old. She posted pictures and videos of him and her I don't know what her angle is, but I guess they had allegedly an improper or whatever inappropriate, relationship with him being, regardless at the time, 18 and older, and her being. But then again, I kind of wonder, right? Because let's say he was 18 and she was 15. If she consented,
No.
But then again, I also say, yeah, Josh, Giddey, hit the shower because you're in the fucking NBA.
Yeah, no, it's
you
not.
Australian playgirl wannabe motherfucking dude. You
That's
should
what
be
he's
with
going off
top
his
tier.
Australian rules.
He could be. Real talk,
And you
though.
know,
He could be.
It's crazy that you say that too, because they was talking
Real
about
spill.
it. They was talking about it on a Flagrant 2 podcast, and they were basically asking what the consent was in Oklahoma City and what the consent was in Australia. I can't remember what they said, but I think it was 17. Now,
Might be 16.
I mean, it
Australia.
could be. Australia, that's something, I don't know nothing about the land down
They
there.
probably looking at it like, huh? What am I doing wrong?
That's because the whole reason why they was bringing it up is
Time
because
out.
they was like
16 to 17 in Australia.
I told you 16, bro. You probably looking like, what am I doing wrong? I take her back to me country, and it's legal.
It's not funny because we all got daughters and shit, but it's just.
Hey, it's your
I don't know.
boy.
It's goofy. It's goofy all around. You know what I mean? Because you're in the NBA. Why are you worried about high school pussy? I'm trying to fuck
Dude, hey, no, he was probably going to frat parties and stuff like he.
Jennifer Aniston.
He just turned
he
21.
said Jennifer Aniston's old ass,
He
baby
just
powder,
turned-
queefing ass.
He
The
just
fuck is
turned
you talking about?
21.
Josh
Like
Giddey
that.
ain't studying no.
She
Jennifer
gonna be like that
Aniston.
picture on Facebook I tagged you in at a skinny chick. You know?
You stupid as
He
fuck.
found
Nah.
something off the ground.
So Oklahoma City
Something.
is in. Hold on. That's in Oklahoma. Duh. I'm about to look
Yeah.
up Oklahoma.
Yeah, because they let him play the night after.
He's
US
playing
rules
right
is
now.
different.
He's still. They're letting him play.
Yeah.
Hey, in Oklahoma, it's 16 years as well. But it says obviously it says this means it is illegal for a minor who is 15 years or younger to have sex with an adult who is 18 years of age or older.
She wasn't 15.
Oklahoma. That's the alleged thing, is that allegedly she was 15 at the time and he was whatever age.
15. If she was 15, that nigga wouldn't be playing right now. First of all, you're a junior in high school. Are you taking AP classes?
But either way, why are you fucking with a high school chick? You're in the
you're
NBA.
right. You're absolutely
You're
right.
not 15 as a junior in high school.
No, you're not.
Unless you're advanced. No, whole time out.
I graduated at 17 and I was 16 as a junior.
Me too. Well, I graduated at 17.
I did know a few kids here and there that jumped up a grade or two, though, that was smart as fuck. But it wasn't often. It wasn't often.
I guess that is a possibility.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't.
Or
I
the-
graduated.
You can't check her.
at
You
18.
can't check her
Yeah.
school ID. You gotta check her
Right.
government.
Right.
This bitch.
But like I said, why even put yourself
Right.
in that liability, in that situation?
Yeah. Like I said, he's probably at them frat parties and stuff. In
How old is he?
Oklahoma.
20?
He's 21
21?
at this moment, but either way, he
Yeah.
was at least 18 or older when allegedly this is all going down.
I just look at it different when it's like, I know the difference is that you're in the NBA.
Well, right.
But if you were 18 in high school, would it be wild for you to date a sophomore your senior year?
No.
Hold on. Say it again.
If you were a senior in high school, you were 18, would it be wild for you to date a sophomore your senior year?
I did that.
That's what I'm saying.
I did that.
So,
But the difference is we were both in high school at the same time.
That's the.
I started dating the chick when I was 17 and she was 15. and I'm not in the NBA. If I was in the
NBA
NBA,
is the common denominator there.
I'm not fucking with no high school chick if I'm in the NBA. Period. I don't care how bad the bitch is. I can get way
Right.
more, or shit I ain't got to worry about from a legal standpoint, age wise.
Listen, you can
But what
apply.
if that's a chick he won't?
You can apply.
I mean, I get
for the
you,
waiting
CT.
list for
You
Kardashian.
know, some Tiger and Kylie style. Like,
I mean, I hear you, but it's just like if you're in the NBA, that's just not a good. I mean, if you're in
No.
any professional, I don't know how to explain it. If you're in any celebrity
we don't know if
limelight and
she
you're
the
18
next,
or older,
she the next top model or something. We don't know if she.
but you already can't get those right now out there.
Yeah,
Wherever
right.
you want to go, you're Josh
Yeah,
fucking
nah.
Giddey. Look at Josh Giddey.
I mean, maybe Oklahoma
You see
City.
what Tiger did? He pre won Kylie, and then you see he blossomed. Just saying, like, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. He probably gonna marry this chick. He probably gonna marry this chick and be with her for the rest of his life.
Hey, CT
Yeah,
the
man,
nigga,
this
CT the
nigga
nigga where
married.
he like, where he daughter, you come on, you like, what is this nigga? Okay, nigga. Hey, look, what's that bad boy scene? You see a nigga like CT, nigga look like he about 30. Or when they saying bad boys, he comes to the door. Like, I need to see a
Josh
license.
don't look 30.
No, he don't. He don't.
He will in a couple of years, but
Right.
nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just saying,
that
like,
beard
I'm
don't
just trying to,
kick in.
like, of course, it's so many. I can't, of course, hit the shower.
We don't know all the details.
Right, of course, hit the showers,
yeah,
regardless.
for sure.
That's very. I have no problems with that. Hit the showers.
But you
But
see, they
yeah,
didn't
again-
report on that at all.
I need the details.
I need the
I
details.
need to know how old he was
and-
when it took place. I need to know. Either way, NBA's different, but you also got to understand that he's one of them. Not like Eastern European type.
Australian. That's what he is. He's Australian.
Right. But what I'm getting at is I'm pretty sure with like the FIBA and all that, you was playing ball before you was 18.
Yeah.
So, and I believe that he was one of them that was on one of them pro teams like Luka and them when he was like 15, 16 years old. So if you're in that situation, then you never have a childhood to really be, you know what I'm saying? You're always at a point of somewhat limelight. So does that automatically exclude women that would be normally in your age bracket?
If we ain't give Michael Jackson a pass, I'm not giving Josh Giddey a pass.
Well, I'm not.
You might have grown up in the limelight since you was a child, playing professional ball, doing all that. But nigga, I'm sure you had to learn some of the laws coming to the States, and
he didn't. I mean, but he didn't do nothing wrong. If Oklahoma City's 16 as well, it's par for the course.
But if she was under the age of 16, and because either way it looks bad, right? Let's say she was 16.
No, it's bad regardless.
You're in the NBA.
It's bad regardless.
If I'm your teammate, I'm clowning on you.
He should have had He should have had Deion Sanders bring Brittany Renner in that bitch to explain how this shit works. Yes, there will be young ladies who would like to do that as well.
Right.
You gotta check IDs, motherfucker. Just because you see a Bronco HS on her motherfucking student ID don't mean that she free to go for. That's wild, G.
If we can't even go get a drink together, what are we talking about? That's another thing, CT, I was trying to tell you.
But
if we can't even go get a drink, I'm not
able to get a drink either.
Oh, right, duh. But you know what but you still see them. There's still other shit I'm sure that comes into play being 18 or older. Like, hey, you can't even. All right, well, I don't know. It's just a bad look. Josh Giddey, you got to get your shit together. 18 or old, 18 and up. 18 and up. That's all I ask. But my other one real quick is I'm giving it to the Panthers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm giving it to the Panthers because I did some research They fired my boy Frank Reich after 11 games as their head coach. But I did a comparison to y'all's boy Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's first season with the Lions, he went 3-13-1. Next season went 9-8. Point being is they gave him time. They gave him time to try to change habits, build upon the team, and it's not even just the Panthers. A lot of teams are doing shit so quick without really getting more of a sample size.
Motherfuckers need an immediate return.
An immediate return, and it don't. Once again, back to y'all's boy Deion Sanders. There's no immediate return. He's changing. Like you said, the team won one game the year before, or whatever. Look what he's got to build upon this. You can't just expect him, like we said, to have been undefeated or some shit this year.
The only players that he was able to bring in were the transfers from Jackson State, but he hadn't had a recruiting opportunity to select and choose where he wants what.
Organizations aren't giving motherfuckers certain time, or in some situations. No,
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Depends on the person and their resume, but yeah. So that's all my shit.
Mines go to the Vikings. They lost a game on all field goals. That was a terrible game to watch. But
didn't Dobbs throw like 4 picks?
4 picks, and then Fields just fumbled like 3 times. It was just field goals and turnovers. It was terrible.
And you said you want Fields, Cliff, and he fumbled 3 times. CT shit.
That's all right. That happens.
Man, that's not. Shit.
That's all right.
I need ball security. Especially from my quarterback.
But it's not a situation where he averages 3 fumbles a game. So
no, but when you've already had a questionable season and your attitude, and you haven't, it's not a good look. It's not a good
I would
look.
say questionable season. Like he hadn't had a bad season. He just got hurt.
Let me see.
He was putting up numbers for me in the fantasy before he got hurt.
He had one good game. He threw like 4 touchdowns.
He had a couple.
So he had 2 games where he threw 4 touchdowns on October 1st and October 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, his numbers, besides the November 19th Lions game, have been pretty low.
But he only played in 1.5 other games.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's played in 8 games so far.
Right.
I mean, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
That's out of what, 13? And this is their bye week this week.
Yeah.
But through 8 games, you've thrown 6 interceptions.
I mean, I understand that, but we were talking about how Jimmy Garoppolo threw 6 interceptions through 6 games.
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't get much better. It doesn't get much better in that aspect.
I don't know if you can say that though, because we're talking about a guy that's only been in one system. That's the only thing he knows is Chicago. Jimmy.
Well, it's not necessarily. He's had a different coach, right? So that's different systems. I mean, he hasn't changed teams, but different coaches, different systems.
Right, but a coach can only change so much in a system when you can't replace the entire team.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of argue that because when Chip Kelly came to the Eagles, he changed the whole entire system. That Wildcat. That's when the Wildcat really started taking off.
Offense,
yeah, he changed everything up.
Right, but that was in an era where there was only one Vic.
Well, right,
How many Vics are there now?
But that was Vic at the end of his. That wasn't prime Vic though. That was Vic at the end.
In general, like how many quarterbacks are there out now that are putting up Vic numbers?
Shit, Mahomes,
Lamar Jackson,
I mean, you gotta give it to Jalen. Yeah, you gotta give it to him.
Justin Fields broke Lamar and Vic's record last season.
I mean, yeah, but like you said, as a quarter, like you say about Jalen, I'm gonna say the same thing about Justin. I don't want to see
But
all that
that
from our quarterback.
but that comes down to a system. Once again, you introducing a wildcat because you know that a wildcat works. That was before it had been used like that in the NFL. Hella in college, but
Yeah.
not too much in the NFL. So if you get put in a system being Justin
I think-
Fields that may be more welcoming to you working like that, stats may be different.
RG3 kind of brought it in too a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit. That's somewhat how he got hurt.
It is. Cam Newton.
Cam Newton definitely. Cam Newton definitely, especially when he had Christian.
Or he had a
But
Stewart.
I'm just saying nowadays, everybody's keying on the rushing quarterback just as much as the passing one.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to be Michael Vick now than it was when Michael Vick was what he was.
I think it's easier, honestly.
No, I don't think so.
You can't hit the quarterback for real. You can slide.
Yeah,
You
that's
can-
true.
But I mean,
I
he
think
could have
it's
slid. He
easier.
could have slid back then.
If Vic was in this era, boy,
Nah, I think if Vic was in this era, he would.
they let
be,
them hit Vic though.
He would be up there. Definitely would be up there. But if I'm tossing him out in this era, you'd be
Killer.
you'd be a 2.0.
What?
He'd
be a
be
2 or
way
2.0.
better than Tua.
You got a deep
Stop
ball.
playing.
You got a deep ball like Tua do. You
And
run
he's
a lot
elite.
better. A lot better. But you'd be a 2.0. When I say 2.0, I mean like 2 times what he is. But
And that's scary.
I don't know.
Tua would be
I still
throwing
don't.
for 400 too.
You right. But I still don't think that. But let's
You'll
keep
see
it a
a
buck.
400,
There's no room for you to
150
rush.
rusher.
Yeah, there's no room for you to rush for 150, 200 yards if you throwing for 4.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. This ain't
Yes,
college.
it is. Lamar could
No, I'm
do
saying
it, but
it's
he can't.
possible. No, he
You
can't.
know what I'm saying?
He don't
He
complete
can do
no
it,
more
but
than
he
18
can't.
passes
That's what
a
I'm
game.
saying. If Vic was in this era, he would do that.
He would have.
I think
more-
Vic would be a dog in almost any era, honestly.
Yeah, I do.
But this era, this would be like
Because he was a generational talent. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers, look at it back him and back at Virginia Tech. Like and even before then too, obviously. But
But what
Vic was
about
just a cheat code.
Marcus Vick? What about Tyrod Taylor? What about
But none of them were Michael though. You know what I mean? None of them were him. It's just like Michael Jordan, right? Like, yeah, you got your Scottie Pippins, you got your Isaiah Thomases, you got your Charles Barkleys, but them niggas wasn't Michael. Them niggas wasn't Vic.
and put
Man.
Jordan in that era like this.
I
That's
mean,
what
we
I'm
don't
saying.
know
Like
that,
it'd be
though.
crazy.
we don't.
We do know that. Look
No.
Look at Marcus's career.
Marcus's career didn't go anywhere ever since he got into that trouble.
Right, but even when he played, Cliff, he wasn't playing good ball. He
He
Marcus
didn't
was.
really
is
play
Scott-
ball like that.
That's
I'm about
another
to pull up his
hit
stats.
the size of Marcus, man.
He didn't play ball like that. He got some preseason games in, and he got.
Well, they moved him to wide receiver. I forgot that they did that to him. They moved him to wide receiver.
And he was Scottie Pippen wife.
What?
Scottie Pippen, why?
You talking about
Ex-wife.
Marcus Jordan?
Oh, who
Right.
y'all talking about?
Marcus Vick.
Yeah, Michael's little
It's,
brother.
Oh, that's
But
what
all
we
I'm
talking
saying
about.
is when he was
I
still
heard you
at
say
Virginia
Jordan.
Tech, they was like, "Oh, he gonna be better than Vic. This nigga 6'1". He all kinds of shit."
Nah, I don't remember them saying
Better
that. And I
than
mean,
Vic.
They were talking about that just purely off size because he had beat Vic like he
I
was
mean-
like 3-4 inches taller than Vic, and they was like got the same arm and the same mobility. Of course, he's not Vic, or he would have been in the league. But
But that just shows you can have the same mom, same dad, similar, shit, but you
Just
ain't
like
you
Cam
ain't your
Newton's
brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't your brother. You know what I'm saying? He- now, some cases work out. The Watt brothers, there's other families and plenty
The
of them. But
Joneses, yeah.
yeah, certain, but it just proves not all. Some, but not all.
Yeah.
No, I definitely
Not-
agree with that.
You know?
I definitely
It's a
agree
lot
with that.
more than I thought. There was some twins that went. A lot
Yeah,
of twins.
the
that
Barber
go.
brothers, Rondé and what was his name?
One brother had no hand.
Well,
Tiki.
the conversation, you talking about the
From UC, from
that went
Florida.
to Seattle.
Yeah.
Can't
The
remember the
dreads.
names off the top
They
of my
had the
head.
dreads.
Oh,
A
the
lot of
Griffin brothers,
Griffin.
Shaquille and
Yeah.
Shaquille and the other, yeah,
Yeah. The
Yeah.
dudes on the Jets, the Williams brothers.
the Williams brothers.
But what I would, with the conversation originated from there being another Vic. Now I know it evolved into including Virginia Tech. Don't know that there would ever be another Vic. I'm just saying in this era where, again, defenses are keying in on the offensive run from the quarterback.
They can't really stop Lamar.
They can't stop the tush. They can't stop the tush push.
What was Lamar's?
Exactly.
What was Jalen Hurts' last 100-yard rushing game?
But he don't have to do 100-yard rushing game.
No, but to compete, I'm saying. So listen, because we're talking about bringing Vic here to this era, right?
2.0. Okay, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So
Right.
if you talking about Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, I can't remember the last quarterback rushing for 100 yards this season. Even with Josh Allen's 2 rushing touchdowns last week, he only had 89.
Who else runs that ball?
All I'm saying is everybody runs nowadays. This isn't like
Right.
This isn't like back when Vic played when there was only a couple mobile quarterbacks.
Hey,
I agree.
yeah.
So it gets a lot harder to achieve the same stats when everybody's keying in on that now.
Well, he might not have the same stats.
Not
but
saying
he
he's
would-
not a great, but he wouldn't be top of no class operating currently.
Who, Vic?
He
Yeah.
still would be. He still would be a top
Oh,
5 quarterback.
you-
I
It
think
would still
crazy.
be Patty.
I said a top 5. I didn't say number
Oh,
1.
No,
I
didn't
said
mean
he'd
to
be
say
a top 5.
Yeah, no, I
he
agree
said-
with that.
I think Vic would be a top 5 quarterback in any generation you
I
put him
agree
in.
with that 1,000. I would even argue a chance for him
Especially
to
if
be
you
top
gave him
3.
some weapons.
but-
Boy.
Mhm. That's the thing. Yeah, Vic did that because he ain't had no weapons. But in
None.
today's generation, if he played with a team with some weapons,
Oh,
man, I think you would have seen more passing touchdowns and
Let
running
him
as
get that
when he
Philly
needed
team-
to.
Let him get that Philly team he had late.
Right.
As a young Vic. Jeremy, who y'all have? Jeremy Macklin, what's
You
his
can't
name?
do that.
Deshaun Jackson. I mean,
Oh,
Deshaun Jackson
man.
was a highlight reel.
And you see what they did with just old Vic,
Right.
that Monday night game.
After prison, Vic.
I think he threw for like 400.
Shit. Nah, but all deep balls.
That's fine. He had
And
Deshaun
that's
Jackson. That's what the formula was. That's what
Give
he.
him Tyreek.
That's what his arm's for. His arm is for the deep
Right.
ball.
That's Tua 2.0. That's what he would be if he was in this.
He was more accurate than Tua, bro. They had him. Remember doing the commercials and shit, throwing the
I
ball
swear.
out the stadium, bro. Like that wasn't even no animation
Nike
shit back then.
commercials.
He
Yeah, that was-
2.0.
Hell no, Tua. Wish you could. You even put them
Tua
in the
ain't
same
never been
sentence.
on
It's
commercial.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy
Yeah.
that you didn't put them in the same sentence. for
Who
real,
else would
but-
Who else would you compare him to? You can't
Uh,
compare him to
compare him
Lamar.
to Drake
Lamar,
Ivory.
Lamar has no kind of arm like Michael Vick does.
I
I
mean,
would just say
probably.
Lamar. That's the only one I can compare
You
him to.
can't, and you can't compare him to Lamar because Lamar again. fucking season high at 21 completions.
He was throwing for 400 before, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, when he hot, when he feeling it, you know what I'm saying? But that's few and far in between. That's different than a Michael Vick. Michael Vick does have an arm to cut you up.
Yeah.
But his bread and butter is the deep ball. So if it's not Tua, the only other option would be Jalen. Couldn't be. Couldn't be. So Tua 2.0. I'm not trying to diminish Michael Vick by saying Tua. I'm just saying
Deshaun Watson,
you would be
Cliff.
2 times the Tua.
Deshaun.
Probably more of a Deshaun than a Tua.
I understand what you're saying from a arm perspective with the ability to run.
Exactly.
But I still don't know if I would. I almost feel like
Tua's deep ball's a little bit more wobbly than Vic's was. Like Vic could usually put it on the money, than deep balls, hit him in stride. Tua doesn't always hit him in stride. He does, but not always. He does, but he don't always hit you in stride. Sometimes Tyreek gotta come back to the ball. Sometimes some guys gotta come back to the ball and shit.
Tua got one on it, but that's also not.
He lucky he got Tyreek, man. That makes him look a lot better too.
Can you imagine if Vic had Tyreek and what?
That's what
him and Tua's numbers wouldn't be the same.
For your defense,
they wouldn't be the same.
About Michael Vick and Tyreek Hill just to them alone. Man, that's crazy.
That would be insane.
You wouldn't know how to game
You have the fastest offense at every position but the line.
Right.
Fastest receivers, fastest running backs, fastest quarterback. But that's not. But when we bring in the hypothetical, we're not just placing him in the same spot.
Well, you compared him to Tua, so I just took it off of if he were to insert into a Tua situation in today's game, that would be a totally different.
Yeah, but I mean,
situation.
I guess I'm getting that there's 1,000 quarterbacks that you could say that about.
Right, but for the sake of conversation, again, the only quarterback in today's game you can compare him to is Tua. So for that reason, I'm saying if he were to play in today's game, play in Tua's place in particular, since that's who you compared him to, I think his stats would be tremendously better than Tua's all around.
I agree.
And Tua would be throwing for like 350, 400.
So do you feel the same way? Do you feel the same way about Deshaun
Jackson?
Watson.
Oh, Watson? As far as what? If he was on the Dolphins?
No, because you said you would compare him to Deshaun. You feel like
they just don't run the ball.
Yeah, he would have way better stats.
No, he would than Deshaun, but the original question was being a top quarterback.
Yeah, he would. I think he would be a top 5 quarterback in any era you put Michael Vick in. Any era, I think he would be a top 5 quarterback.
But now we're talking about teams, right? Because you were saying that he didn't have nothing in Atlanta.
Right, not much.
So in my opinion, if you were to replace him with a Deshaun, you'd be in a similar boat.
In Atlanta?
Yeah, you'd be in a similar boat. So would just stats then be comparable to your Atlanta career? Or are you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at? I'm trying to figure out who's going to be the top quarterback. And regardless of any situation, I'm still giving it
I see what you're saying. I think that Michael Vick would still, because you got to think of the level of competition.
Top 3 to 5 for sure. But I can't see you beating Patty.
Well, but here's the thing. If I'm being completely honest,
I'll do.
And here's why I say that. In that time era when you could hit the quarterback, you could blast the quarterback, you could do whatever you wanted. If Patty was playing, like I tell you all the time offline, the Julius Peppers and Mike Rucker and all them guys Vic played all the time.
Right. You can say that about anybody in this era, but to bring someone from that era to this era.
Right.
They would dominate.
He would dominate because the game is easier. The game is easy. They talk about Cliff. Let me ask you a random
I don't
question.
know if I agree with that. I don't think Vic's instantly number one if you put him in.
You don't think Barry Sanders will be a number one running back if he played in today's game?
Nope.
What?
And you know that's my guy. Nope.
Crazy as hell.
Nope. Back in them
The way
days,
he
there
was
wasn't
bending the
4-4
corner.
linemen. There
wasn't what?
There was no 4-4 linemen. Back in the days
Okay.
of Barry Sanders, there were none of them. They did not exist. We just talked about Jordan Davis, who ran a 4.6 at 370.
Well, we talked about
Nah.
at the same time Jordan Davis tracking down Josh Allen, who was nowhere near elusive as Barry Sanders was.
No, I agree.
Nowhere near.
He's gonna have
So-
him. He's gonna have him
so-
off the steps, but the difference is the hole closes faster. They're in the backfield faster. When you have players that are that much bigger and that much faster than the players you played with before, you don't have time to decide. A lot of times you're met as soon as you get a handoff with someone being there.
That's what Barry was best
Barry
at,
did
though,
that with no
breaking that.
offensive line. You imagine
Oh,
Barry
God.
playing today's
He
game
did.
with a decent with
was
a
And
breaking
you know
that
decent
that's
offensive
my
line.
all-time favorite player. No, he's not the best.
Juke and
He's
that
not
coming
the best.
back.
If he had a
Yes.
decent offensive line and played today, he would be
Well,
at,
again,
at his prime. He would be.
That's what I was
he would
getting
be.
at when I was saying just putting Vic on the Dolphins. Because, of course, if you were to put Barry on the best team to suit him, then of course. But we're not talking about that. We're just talking about putting them in this era of ball. Of course, if you pick the best team that suits the player we're talking about, they're going to do well, of course.
Well, then that's what I'm saying about Tua. I'm saying then that's basically Tua's narrative is what I'm saying. Then, of course, Tua should be doing whatever it is when he does great. But
No,
if
because
he was
Tua's
on
not
a
as
different,
good. Tua's not as good as Vic, which is why I said Tua 2.0.
But-
oh,
okay, but you can't put them in the same sentence if he's not as good as Vic. You said that he would be.
He would be the closest in comparison, arm wise, without the mobility.
But see, I think Deshaun and them guys have a better arm than Vic. Hell, even Josh Allen.
Now, I do agree with you when saying that Vic is more accurate than Tua. Yes, I do. I do agree with that.
Right.
But if we're just throwing him again, if we're just throwing him in this era on any team, does he do the same thing? No to Vic, no to Sanders. And I know I'm the guy that always says the game was harder back in the day.
Right.
I'm that guy. But just thinking logically about the game, about the change, the evolution of it all, to just assume that they would come into now and dance around and do the same thing they did, I
I
can't.
don't think they would,
can't- I
man.
can't
Vic is
do
like a running back.
But
type
talent is
quarterback.
talent, Cliff. No matter
Yeah.
where, no matter when, where, how, what
I
era.
agree.
Just like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played today. He still would be special. He still would be Michael Jordan. There would be other guys
Yeah.
amongst him. Don't get me
That
wrong.
ball-
The
that
LeBrons
ball
and
still
KDs
going
and
through the
them.
hoop.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. Are his stats still the same? No, they're not.
They probably would be, Cliff, because
No,
at
they're
the
not.
end of
They'd probably
the
be
at the
better.
No, they're not.
Cliff,
No, they're not.
Cliff, if D'Angelo Russell's putting up 35 points like it's nothing, I'm sure Michael Jordan could come in today's league and, you know what I'm saying,
60.
cause damage if he was in his prime.
He
Hell
could do
yeah.
something. He could do
If
something.
Harden was putting up like them 60s triple doubles, Jordan.
No,
Right,
oh my
right.
No, because now you're changing shit. Because the styles are not the same. Jordan was not a 3-point shooter. We know that factually. Out of
'Cause it
LeBron,
wasn't
Kobe,
what he
and
was
Jordan
doing,
with the
but he-
3-point shot, he's the lowest. He's
Well,
the
I think
lowest of
CT
all
is saying.
of them.
I think CT saying if he
'Cause they
played
wasn't
today,
No,
he
but
would
we-
have. He would have one.
No, and that's different to say because now we're changing everything altogether.
He was still putting up averaging 35 and
Now
stuff
all of a
without
sudden
shooting
Jordan
a three.
has a 3 because he's playing today. All I'm saying
He
is
was
if we
averaging
judge
30s
them,
without the three.
no, he definitely was, but it was a lot of middies. It was a lot of inside shit. How many 7'5" players played back then? How many
But James Harden just
7+
did
Because the
Wemby.
game
players?
changed. He was shooting middies because the game has changed. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the mid-range was hot back then.
And all I'm saying is we know that LeBron is not the 3-point shooter of today's era of ball, but he leads the three of them in 3-point shot percentage.
Because he
He takes
his
way
game.
more. He takes way more threes, though. He's taking way more threes. We know
Way
that
more.
too.
Right, but by
Way
CT's
more.
argument, so would Jordan then at that point.
You
And
mean if he
hit
played
him.
today? You're saying if he
Right.
played today?
So if he's
And
taking
Jordan
more
shot a
threes,
good free throw percentage. Jordan would have shot a good three percentage, I think.
I'm
too.
just saying it's hard. It's definitely it's easy to attach yourself to a player in your fandom, but to completely remove yourself from it and think about it, it's not the same. It's not going to be the same.
It might be greater.
It
Right.
could. It's possible.
A lot more possible. It'd be crazier for Jordan if he had to, like what?
It would be crazier for Jordan going
If
up
he even
against.
played in it and played against these guys nowadays where there's no center for real. He was playing against big guys, like real centers and stuff. So he will torture these guys.
Wait. What do you mean by real centers, though?
Like the
Big-
Matumbos, the
Big
Shaqs,
guys. The Jordan. Hell, they made the Jordan
Alonzo.
rules
So
because they were
wait.
fucking.
Lonzo.
My next question then: are there not players like Mutombo currently with more offense, with more all of that?
defensively
Are they-
nowadays.
Are they
no.
playing like the Pistons were playing
Defensively,
Michael Jordan back in the
to
80s?
Mutombo, but you can't have everything. Mutombo was good because that was what he did. Defense.
You
He
never
was
know. They
blocking
give
shots,
out
waving his
defensive player of the
finger.
year to guards and stuff now. Like you don't know who's gonna get defensive player of the year.
But what I'm saying is nowadays you can't just be a specialist. I can't be a shot blocker. I can't just be a rebounder. I can't just be a shooter. I have to do everything well. And I'm not saying that Jordan didn't do everything well. But when
Defensive player
you're
of the year.
but when you're going against players that have to do everything well, it makes what you were doing a little bit. You feel what
But
I'm
like
saying?
I said,
skewed.
greatness
You
is
see how
going to be
Luka
great.
is? He
It's
would
gonna be great.
Luka 2.0 infester. Like Jordan is. Oh my god, they would
Cliff,
have been crazy.
look at it this way. It's like music, right? There's music from a kid you could think of, a song or different that you know still hits today. Still could be a top song today type shit. Still maybe.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
It's to me it's like that with certain athletes. Like
I agree with everything.
You see
that
how
you're,
Luka tortures
I
the
agree with
league?
everything
Oh
that
my
you're
God.
saying. That's what you're explaining to me is a generational talent.
exactly.
Am I saying that Jordan is not? No, I am not. Not by no means am I saying that he's not a generational talent. I'm just saying that those stats hit different when you're going against a Wemby as opposed to a Chris Mullin. They hit
But
Oh
different.
my
But I
god.
agree, but
No,
but
they do. Ain't no oh my
but-
god about it. Everybody has to be good at multiple things. When he played, there were specialists. There were people that didn't leave the corner at all. I'm not talking
And
about
this-
Mikal Bridges, who stayed in the corner and still managed to be second runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year. I'm talking about a Steve Kerr who got punched in the chest if he left the corner. It's a
Hey, nigga shoulda
different
stayed in the
game
corner.
today. So you can't automatically say he does the same thing when everybody is a specialist at everything as opposed to me just doing. Jordan knew who he could go at. Jordan knew which angles to take, everything.
Jordan talked to everybody, it seemed like. So
It just gets a lot harder when people are well trained at all aspects. There's no way around that.
this dude would have been different.
He's always going to be different because he's a generational talent. But I don't know that your stats match. I don't know that you get your 6.
And he retired and came back, so if he wouldn't have, like, it would have been, yeah.
But see, I'm not talking about. See, that's the thing. I'm not talking about everything statistically being the same with any of these players. But they would be
But it would
still
have
some
to
of
be
the best
similar
players.
for them to be number one. Vic can't come into this era of ball and put up anything less than what he did prior. Even what he did prior is being broken currently. So you have to even be better now to be number one. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, but not necessarily better because look at what he did or what he had. Now again,
I understand that.
if he played today and he had more, he might have done naturally more than what he did with less at the back then. You know?
Right. But there's also a chance you come in nowadays like fucking CJ and you don't get much, and it's just up to you to show it.
Right. That's true.
Now,
too.
I'm not saying that Vic doesn't show it. Of course he will, because again, he's a generational talent.
Right.
But are his stats the same? I can't say yes.
Right.
I just can't say that. I just can't jump on board and be like, yeah, he gonna dominate the same. Nah, not for nobody. Not for Barry. Not for Jordan. Not for fucking Vic.
That's crazy. Jordan, maybe. Yeah, I don't know about the other one. Jordan?
Nah, not even Jordan.
Oh, man.
And he would be my top out of all of those that I named.
A guy that didn't go to no Game 7 in his era. He would have torched this era.
But that shit is team stats. I'm not hearing that because we know what kind of team Jordan had. Yes, that never went to a Game 7. He ain't guarding all 5 positions. You still needed Rodman. You still needed Pippen.
Scotty on the bench. He had Steve Kerr out there with him.
You needed a whole gang. You needed a whole background cast.
Kerr.
So we're not talking about team stats.
I'm not talking about
He
practice.
had half the points.
And you think he gets half the points now? You think in any game he gets half the point, half his team's points?
Well, they score 120 now, so he probably have what, 50, 55?
You think?
Well,
do you think?
Yeah. The way.
Well, like I said, Cliff, if you got, like I said,
he had 15 off fouls alone.
I think he would adapt it to the game. That's what I'm saying. When you're a generational talent,
if you wasn't consistently hitting 50 against motherfuckers who specialized in one specific attribute of the game, how the fuck are you getting that against motherfuckers who do everything? How? No. Stop. Think about the white boys that played back then and the white boys that play now. You could name Plumlee. And you think he's not dogging shit back then?
Nope.
You crazy as fuck.
Not against not against
crazy as fuck.
Who was the white boy on the Bulls they got from overseas back then?
Kukoc?
Oh, Turkish.
Yeah,
Tony.
he would have done him up. Them niggas would have done him up.
Kukoc is different, and that's another thing that I'm talking
Dennis
about.
Rodman's locking him up.
Dennis Rodman.
Your team
Bad Boy
was
Pistons.
Nice. So I'm not hearing no Game 7s because you weren't
Knickerbockers.
guarding everybody on the other team.
But he was a defensive player of the year probably
stats.
a lot
Do
of
you
the
get
years.
the same
First
stats?
team. They wasn't first team all defense like him.
Well, I don't think anybody
Pippen
if you put
Pippen was second
I don't
team.
think so.
Pippen was second
Jordan
team.
was, must say, MVP.
Pippen might have got a couple first teams now that I think about it, but he was consistently more second team than first.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. How many times do you get players like that on the same team? How many times do you get multiple defensive first player and defensive second team on the same squad? You don't.
Well, look at the Clippers. Look at James Harden, Kawhi.
Yeah, I know.
What's that?
PG.
What's that mean?
Former defensive player of the year. Well, didn't Harden get an MVP?
Well, no, we talking about just we were talking about just the defense in general. The defensive player, because I'm a strong advocate of defense wins championships. Now, if you got a consistent 6-time first team all defense with a consistent 6-time at least second team all defense, when have we ever seen that before?
Right.
Jordan
Just
locking
name it.
Clyde up.
When has
Jordan
that ever
locking.
taken place? So at that, again, what I'm saying
Reggie got locked up.
Ain't no team stats involved, because if we include the team, we already named Kukoc, Pippen, Kerr. We didn't even go into
He made them.
He made them. Jordan's non-passing ass made them.
Mm.
You think Jordan's non-passing ass made them?
Go look at the tape. He passed it to Kerr for the game winner.
Stop it. Nigga, I lived it. I'm 37 years old. I watched the shit on TV.
Man, you must have been watching.
Stop playing with me, man. Why you think motherfuckers was talking about Kobe not passing? Because he idolized Jordan, my nigga. Stop playing. Jordan wasn't just
Kobe
diamond
wanted 81
motherfuckers.
points.
Jordan
Kobe
was mad when
gunning.
he didn't get the shot.
Kobe was a gunner.
And Jordan wasn't. Jordan was the offense. You said it. You get half your team's
smart.
Points.
Smart with it. Half. And he was assisting on the other ones.
My hit the showers is CT. For
I'm
his
gonna have to
takes
send you
this
some Jordan clips.
You ain't gotta send me nothing, my nigga. You talking to a motherfucker that had posters on his wall.
The 3P. What you want to? Which one? Which 3P?
Again, you're talking about team stats.
He would have killed this.
You're talking about team stats, though. You're talking about.
I'm talking about
stats.
a guy, the Black Cat.
Right,
the Black Cat.
You just named was team stats.
That's what they called him.
They call Jordan the Black Cat.
You don't get a 3P by yourself. That don't happen.
Man, you see when they left.
It took Kobe to have Shaq, who was another Jordan. I won't say 2.0 because I used the same with Vic and Tua, but another Jordan, right? It took him to have Shaq to get a 3P. So what the fuck did you think it took Jordan to have to get his? He had a squad.
He didn't have no Shaq.
Man, stop.
He didn't have no Shaq.
He had multiple players spread out across his team that equal to having a Shaq.
A lot of greats have done that.
That's not argue. That's not even.
No, he did. Yeah, Harper. He had
Brian Harper,
Horace Grant. They wasn't really nothing for real, so don't do that.
Listen, Horace Grant was making defensive squads. What you talking about?
Horace Grant was losing
on the Lakers.
He was in Orlando losing.
I mean, but that's different.
Horace Grant was balling on the Lakers.
You come to Jordan, change your whole life change.
And I'm not saying that you're wrong. All I'm saying
manned
is
him
that
up. Hey, you better
all I'm
bring
saying
it,
is that
you
are
better
wrong.
Get it together.
This ain't none of
that. This ain't Orlando.
Coming to this era and doing the same shit. It's not happening.
Oh, he would.
Now he's a generational talent. He'd be, again, if not, he might even be the best player of the era. But
the way he was putting that thing in the rim.
You don't get the same stats. That's a fact.
A prime Jordan, the way I saw it, yeah, he's doing that.
You don't get the same stats.
He's doing that.
How many seasons did it take for him to start winning?
Well, he's playing 82 games.
How many seasons did it take for him to start winning?
8 to 9. Just like it took Brian. Just like it took Brian.
I mean, I'm not even trying to argue
just like it took Brian
scenario, but Brian also had to do that on his own. He had to leave and go do that. Chicago had one of the boss's game plans.
It was terrible. They were terrible at first until they got Scotty.
Or Phil.
He had to score 63. He had to score 63 on Boston in the Garden. Like he had to do a lot before he got a team. Jordan didn't have a team at first.
I agree. I'm just saying that it wasn't just no situation where he had to worry about getting the team himself.
Larry Bird said it was like we was playing against guys. Like we couldn't get no type of stops. Like what?
Mm-hmm. And it seems that way when you only got 2 blockers.
And that was young
squad.
prime. That was young Jordan. Just think when he got in his prime. Like it would have got ugly.
It seems that way when you only got 2 blockers on your squad, but when you got point guards like Russell Westbrook and all these motherfuckers. Yeah, balls don't go up the same. Now, do I think Jordan can give Westbrook buckets? Hell
shoot.
Yeah.
He would have locked Russell up.
I'm not worried about what he doing locking him up. I'm just saying in general, do you score as many points when motherfuckers block shots from the 1 to the 5, not just the 5 or the 4 and the 5? Or the 3, or the 3, the 4, and the 5 in certain.
You see how Kobe was doing it like Jordan? It would have been the same thing. It would have been the same thing. You see how Kobe went for 81? Jordan would have probably had like 90.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
telling
agree in a
you.
game. In a game, probably.
Real talk. Because he'd be like, oh, I got 45 and
And I
half. Why
mean,
not go for it?
I just seen James Harden break down Wemby the other day and give him a bucket. If James Harden can break down a 7'5" nigga, I know Jordan
Come
could.
on. I've seen a lot of dudes
Yeah,
break
for
down
sure.
Wemby and give him a bucket. So
Yeah.
it would have been.
For
That's
sure,
what I mean, and I'm like-
but it's not about one shot.
Well, no, of course it's not about one shot, but
And this
Like-
era is everybody switches too. So Jordan would have killed. Oh
these
my
niggas,
Lord.
if these niggas can adapt to Wemby, Cliff, that nigga would have adapted to the
No, he
game in
killing.
general.
He killing.
Donovan Mitchell went for 71. You don't
You
think
got me in hate mode. He killing, but he ain't. You're not putting up the same stats. You're just not.
you got Damon Spider going for 71? He's going.
That's another
Man.
reason why you're not putting up the same stats. It's another reason why it makes it that much harder to get first team all defense when you got niggas like Dame putting up 71 and Luka out there
They
that drop
wouldn't
buckets.
do it on him.
No, I do agree on that.
Yeah, no, it's not the same shit. That's what I'm saying. Like when you start comparing different eras, you have to put circumstances on shit. Because if you're involving everything, all aspects, nobody can confidently say anything.
Talking about jump, man. We're talking about.
And that's including me as well. But when right now, we're just talking on a conversation, but I guarantee you neither one of us are including all aspects. And all I would
True.
say
I am
is-
because it's off the court would have been crazy. He would have
Oh
been
yeah,
nuts.
he definitely be pushing motherfuckers to work. But that's another thing that comes down. I guess you could give
The
him that
Jordan
stat.
brand would have been nuts. Like it would have been out of it. It'd have been crazy for him to be selling shoes in this era.
It's a time and a place for everything. But it's a lot of niggas. Well, let's keep it a buck. It's a lot of motherfuckers that wear the shoes that don't know nothing about basketball. They just know that motherfuckers like seeing me in Jordan shoes.
So just think about it
Mhm.
this day with this money, this era. Like
Nah, when we talking financials, that makes
He
sense.
already
When
a
we talking
billionaire.
stats, motherfucker. My hit the showers goes to Tyler Bass. You still missed 2 field goals. That could have gave you the win over the Eagles, and you did that. That's a problem.
I mean,
in
you know, you
Philly.
playing in Philly. That crowd is no joke. I'm sure that volume, that crowd, that you seen that Bills player push that Philly fan because he was pissed.
The crowd, I don't care how loud you scream, you ain't blocking no motherfucking field goal. That's on his bitch ass. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come at him like that.
I know you did.
I didn't mean to come at him like that, but
He did.
that's on him.
That's on his bitch ass.
I mean, it's not the loss isn't on him, but
It might be.
it definitely played a part, my G. That's the only job you got is to hit field goals. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they've been smoking a lot of field goals lately.
Listen, do anybody got anything to take us out?
May the best team win this week in fantasy and in NFL, and
Fuck
May
them
a nigga hit-
birds.
may a nigga hit a parlay one time. You know the birds gonna keep rolling.
Few of
A few of them just need to hit.
them.
We back next Wednesday.
You already know how it is. Like, subscribe,
Alrighty.
share, tell a
Y'all
friend,
boys be
tell a
safe. I'll
friend,
see y'all boys.
tell
Alright,
an enemy,
CT.
tell them to
Alright.
troll. We out this bitch.
Yeah.